Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Hashirama give all chakra to Naruto Chunin exams Sasuke bashing. Before I start, please support for more amazing content and do consider subscribing to my channel and share this video with your friends. This is written by CWATSON115 and link in the description and support writer. Let's start the video. Disclaimer. I do not own Naruto, but if I did I would buy 101 Dalmatians and then sell them for twice as much money. Uchiha compound. Tetsuya Uchiha was laying on the ground. There was blood everywhere and he could barely move. He saw a few shinobi jump by and he weakly called to them. Who did this? The first one that seemed to be the leader asked. Itachi Uchiha. Tetsuya said with a little effort. Call for a medic, we need tea, the first ninja called before he was interrupted. No. Tetsuya said with a weak yell. Let me move on from this life to be with my beloved sister Hirin, who was also in this massacre. The Uchiha said. Just make sure that you give these to Naruto-kun when he becomes a chunin. Tetsuya said as he held out a box and a piece of paper. However, as the shinobi were turning away to go tell the Hokage since they had found no other people alive besides Sasuke Uchiha, they were stopped by Tetsuya again. And these? Tetsuya said, pointing to his eyes before his hand fell to the ground and he was dead. Medic, come and get these eyes, said the first shinobi. He came and got the eyes out and the 5 ninja jumped onto the rooftops. Later that day. Hokage-sama, we have just gotten back from the Uchiha compound and everyone aside from Sasuke Uchiha is dead. Itachi Uchiha was the one that did it. The Sandaime Hokage Hiruzen Sarutobi looked very puzzled. He had sandy white hair under his Hokage hat and he had on his Hokage robes. He was the genius of Konoha. So, it is odd that something was troubling him. Why would Itachi do such a thing? Thought the Hokage before he was cut off from his thoughts by the first shinobi. Hokage-sama, I would like to also report that when we got there was one other Uchiha alive, said the first shinobi. Why did you not give him medical attention? Asked Hiruzen, thoroughly perplexed. He asked us not to give him medical aid, said the first shinobi as he continued, but he told us to give this to Naruto when he makes chunin. The shinobi handed Hiruzen 2 boxes and a note. The Hokage looked over the note and smiled sadly. Flashback. Hokage-sama, I would like to ask a question, said one Tetsuya Uchiha. And what would that be? Asked Hiruzen. Who is the blonde boy that walks around the village always looks sad? Asked Tetsuya. His name is Naruto, why do you ask? Asked Sarutobi quite skeptically. Because I talked to him today and he seemed like a very nice boy, but when I looked around, I saw everyone in the village looking at him with hate, said Tetsuya in a sad voice. Hiruzen then went on to tell Tetsuya about what had happened 6 years before. When he was finished explaining, Hiruzen asked, so, what are you going to do about it? I am going to make sure that I will always protect Naruto-kun, Tetsuya said. The kun that was added to Naruto's name brought a smile to Hiruzen's face. Flashback end. Hiruzen was thinking about how Naruto and Tetsuya's relationship had grown to the point that Tetsuya was almost like a father figure to Naruto. He even introduced Naruto to his sister Hira Uchiha. Hiruzen was upset because now he had to go tell Naruto the news. And that's the chapter, hope you all liked it and I hope you return to read some more. My stories always start out with no fighting in the first chapter and I don't know why, it's kinda weird. I do not own Naruto, but Masashi Kishimoto does. Funny story, he's a robot that I created in my basement. Hahaha. Naruto was sitting in the Hokage's office bawling his eyes out. Hiruzen was by his side trying to comfort him. Flashback. After the shinobi left to fetch Naruto by request of Hiruzen, the Hokage sat down at his desk, pinching the bridge of his nose. Why Itachi? Hiruzen said out loud as he set to thinking. His thoughts were cut short as our favorite blonde-haired, blue-eyed, whiskered boy walked into the Hokage's office. You wanted to see me, Jiji? What's wrong? Asked Naruto. Very perceptive. Hiruzen thought, Naruto, I have some unfortunate news. Hiruzen said in a grave voice. What is it? Naruto asked, starting to get worried. There was a massacre earlier today in the Uchiha compound. The Hokage said as he saw Naruto's eyes bulge. Tetsuya Ajasan, Hira Abasan, Naruto said as he started bawling. Flashback end. Hiruzen was trying to calm Naruto. Naruto, I also have some good news, he said. When he saw Naruto stop crying, he continued. Tetsuya-san and Hira-san left you something, he said, seeing Naruto perk up a little. However, I cannot give it to you until you make chunin. He saw Naruto hang his head again until he continued, that's why I'm going to have senseis train you, he said as he saw Naruto become extremely happy. When do I start? Said Naruto, jumping up and down. Next week, said Hiruzen. Time skip 1 week. Naruto was at training ground 7 where the Hokage said to meet him. He was sitting on a log waiting when he sensed 2 presences coming towards him. Show yourself. Naruto said as two Shushins appeared where Naruto was looking and out came the Hokage and a random shinobi. Seems we have a powerful sensor on our hands. Said the shinobi as Hiruzen nodded. Oh, hey Jiji, hi bushy beard. He said as he seen behind Naruto. Senin Garashi, 1000 years of death, he said as he put both hands together and put his pointer fingers out. Naruto had no time to react as he was poked in the asshole and sent flying in the air screaming. Shit, maybe I overdid it a bit. He thought as Naruto came back to the ground. Alright, that's enough. Said the Hokage as he helped Naruto off the ground. Although, he had to admit that was quite amusing. This is Kamo Mabuchi, he will be teaching you basic ninja skills. Said the Hokage as Naruto properly greeted his new sensei. Hello, Kamo-sensei. Said Naruto. Oh yeah and Naruto. Hiruzen said as he was turning around to leave, here's your stuff. He said tossing a pouch with kunai and shuriken and a sheath with a sword in it. Aw cool. Said Naruto as Hiruzen shoo-shined away. Alright let's get started. Said Kamo. Time skip 1 month. Naruto threw 10 shuriken and kunai at a tree, the shuriken made a perfect circle, and the kunai made a perfect circle around the shuriken. Nice job Naruto, now let's do some kenjutsu. Said Kamo to Naruto. Naruto had grown a little over the month and now stood at 5'0", he had become slightly muscular due to his training. He unsheathed his sword and his sensei created 3 shadow clones with swords who came at Naruto. He disarmed all of them in one strike and dispelled them in the next strike. Very well done Naruto. Said his sensei. On to chakra control. Said his sensei. Naruto's chakra control was surprisingly good for the amount of chakra reserves Naruto had which were still growing. Control isn't as good as Sakura's or Tsunade's though. Naruto walked across the lake and over to a rock and then he punched the rock which shattered because of well-timed chakra output. You've mastered everything, let's go to Ichiraku's and then I'll have you meet your next sensei. Said Kamo as Naruto jumped up and down. Naruto had grown close to the shop owners of Ichiraku's and his sensei Kamo. They were part of the few people in the village who actually knew Naruto for who he was and not just the demon brat. Hey Am, old man Tucci. Tucci was the old man cook at Ichiraku's and Am was his daughter. Hey Naruto. Said Am, Mizo Ramen right? She asked. Believe it. Naruto said as Am chuckled and gave her dad the order. As Naruto was eating, he sensed a huge chakra signature coming his way. Naruto had mastered his sensing ability in the month and now it was very hard for people, even the Hokage to mask their chakra signature from him. When he turned around he saw none other than Might Guy walk into Ichiraku's. Awesome, are you going to be my new sensei? Asked Naruto who started to get giddy. Why yes I will be and I can already see a springtime of youth bursting from you. Said Guy crying with huge anime tears. Kamo sweat dropped as Naruto continued. Are you going to teach me the Taijutsu Genken, strong fist, that I've read so much about? Naruto asked now with anime tears coming out of his eyes. Yes and then your flow of youth will burst even more. Said Guy as he moved in for the hug until Naruto stopped him with a hand. Whoa buddy, I don't do that huggy shit. Naruto said as he pushed a now for real crying Might Guy away. Anyway, get some rest because we're starting tomorrow. Guy said after he stopped crying. Time skip, 3 months. Naruto had grown even more and was now 5'2". His muscle mass had increased very much and whenever he would walk home after practice with his shirt turned to shreds from training, every girl in the village got nosebleeds and flew around the village. It was funny how people hated him when his shirt was on, but when it came off he became a piece of meat. Although the men did seem to hate him more. Alright now I want you to spar with Lee. Said Guy to Naruto and Lee. Lee was Guy's other student. He and Naruto had grown to become great friends over the 3 months and Lee pushed Naruto to do his best. Naruto and Lee face off with each other and got into their stances. Naruto was the first one to move as he ran at Lee and threw a punch right at his face. Lee blocked the punch and sent a kick at Naruto. Naruto put chakra into his right hand and caught the powerful roundhouse before it got to his side. The fight continued on as blocked punches and kicks until Lee opened the third gate and performed reverse lotus on Naruto. That was an amazing spar filled with such burning youth, Naruto you have mastered the Genken style. Guy said. Now it is time for me to show you to your next 2 senseis who will be teaching you ninjutsu. Guy said. Hi sensei. Naruto said getting very excited. Naruto sensed 2 presences approaching as Asuma Sarutobi and Kakashi Haddock appeared via Shushin. Asuma, Kakashi, my hip rival. Said Guy as Kakashi sweat dropped but ignored him. Shall we get started? Asuma asked as Guy and Lee left. Right now? Naruto asked slightly tired. Kakashi just took out a piece of paper and said, we're just testing out your nature affinity. Oh okay. Naruto said as he was handed the piece of paper. Now channel some chakra into it, if it splits in half it's wind, if it burns to ashes it's fire, if it soaks it's water, if it crinkles it's lightning, and if it turns to dirt it's earth. Asuma said as if he had said it 100 times, which he probably had. Naruto channeled some of his chakra into the paper and it split in half. Looks like it when Asuma started until he looked at the paper again. On the left side of the paper at the top a half burned to ashes. On the bottom of that half it started to soak. On the right side of the paper at the top half, the paper crinkled up and on the lower half it turned to earth. How is this possible? Kakashi thought. Does this mean I'm like the sage of six paths? Naruto asked, surprising the Jounin even more. How do you know about that? Asuma asked. I read, of course. Naruto replied. He is the only person I've ever heard of this from. Kakashi said. We need to take a blood test. Kakashi said and Asuma agreed. Time skip 3 months. Alright Naruto, show us what you have learned. Said Asuma and Kakashi nodded his head. Start with fire. Kakashi said. Okay. Naruto said. Pain. Kankakik no jutsu, fire release. Great fireball technique, Naruto said as he blew out a huge fireball that charred a few trees. Pain. Enden, fire release. Flame bullet, Naruto said as he shot out a lot of fire bullets out of his mouth, which hit many of the trees. Pain. Hibashiri, fire release. Running fire, Naruto said as he blew out fire that made a ring around Kakashi and Asuma. Asuma blew some wind to get rid of the jutsu. Very good. Said Kakashi, the first 2 were C ranks and the third was a B rank, so good job. Alright, next up is water. Said Kakashi. Suiten. Surum no jutsu, water release. Water prison technique, Naruto said as he made a ball out of water from the nearby lake. Suiten. Sugaden, water release. Water fang bullet, Naruto said as 3 cone-like bullets of water came out of the lake and drilled 3 clean holes through a tree. Suiten. Suriken no jutsu, water release. Water dragon bullet technique, Naruto said as a giant dragon made of water came out of the lake and slammed into a few trees, knocking them down. Nice job, that was 2 B's and a C, now on to lightning. Said Kakashi with an eye grin. Rain. Jibashi, lightning release. Electromagnetic murder, Naruto said putting in the minimal amount of chakra. A current went through the ground into a few trees, charring them a little. Rain. Reikik, lightning release. Lightning ball, said Naruto as he also used the minimal amount of chakra. He created a ball out of lightning and flung it at a tree which charred it almost completely. Alright, good, now earth. Kakashi said. Oten. Dirixum, earth release. Earth flow spears, Naruto said as spikes came up from the ground and shot towards the trees, leaving holes in them. Oten. Dorakeki, earth release. Earth style wall, Naruto said as he spat some mud from his mouth, forming a wall of earth in front of him. Good, and last but not least, wind. Said Asuma. Ton. Tatapa, wind release. Great breakthrough, Naruto said as he shot out a blast of wind that knocked over a few trees. Good job, you're done for right now and I will introduce you to your last sensei, Kurina Yuhi. Asuma said as a woman got up from where she was seated and walked over. Hi Naruto, I will be teaching you Jinjutsu. Time skip, 1 month. Naruto had just turned 8 a few weeks ago, but he finished his training earlier today. He had already missed a week of the academy, but he was going tomorrow. Naruto remembered what happened this morning after his final day of practice. Flashback. Naruto was walking back to his apartment when he ran into Kamo Mabuchi. Hi Kamo-sensei. Naruto said. Hi Naruto, I have some messages from your other senseis. Kamo replied. I said not to use Kenken and only use a modified academy style because the students aren't good at Taijutsu. Also, Asuma said that if anyone asks your affinity is wind because it's rare enough to have a wind affinity in this village. Kamo said. Got it. Naruto replied. Flashback end. Naruto laid down on his bed and as he fell asleep he found himself in a strange sewer in front of a huge cage. All of a sudden, huge eyes and teeth appeared behind the cage. Then a huge voice that made Naruto want to shit his pants spoke. Hello Naruto. Amik. Hiruzen Sarutobi was looking over the blood test results for Naruto. All of a sudden everyone in the whole village could hear their Hokage shouting what? The Anbu didn't have a fun night after that. I do not own Naruto, but I want all of my viewers to write a 5-page essay to Kishimoto on why I should. Hello Naruto. The thundering voice said. Who are you? Asked a very terrified Naruto. I am the Kyuubi no Kitsune. Said the beast as it walked forward to show a giant 9-tailed fox. Naruto could feel its chakra coming off of it in waves and made him nauseous because it was so vile. Why you mean to tell me that why you're the most powerful Biju? Naruto stammered out. HHHH. I think I'm scaring you too much for you to talk. Said the Biju as it began to shrink. What's happening? Asked Naruto. I'm turning into my human form. Finished the Biju as it was done with its transformation. Standing in front of Naruto was one of the most beautiful women that Naruto had ever seen. She had crimson hair that went all of the way down to the middle of her back. She had a pretty large bust. She was wearing a silk kimono with 9-tailed foxes all over it. "Hello again Naruto," she said with a smile. "Naruto?" she asked. Naruto was standing there staring at her with a pervy grin and some blood trickling from his nose. All of a sudden he was lifted off of his feet by an earth-shaking slap that sent him flying into the wall. "Don't ever get perverted again or I will kill you," the Bijuu said with a murderous look. "I'm sorry," said Naruto getting out of the wall with a sheepish grin, "I just didn't expect the 9 tails to be such a beautiful woman," said Naruto, which got a blush from the Bijuu. "My name is Toriko," said the now identified Toriko. "Toriko?" asked Naruto. "Yes, that is the name that the sage of the 6 paths gave me," Toriko responded. "Okay, I like it, now why have you called me here?" asked Naruto getting down to business. "Ah yes, I have a deal to make with you," said the Bijuu getting a skeptical look from Naruto. "And what would that be?" asked Naruto. "Well, I have been studying your chakra and it's very interesting," said Toriko. "Interesting?" Naruto asked walking into Toriko's cage. "All I can say for right now is that it is very calming," said Toriko, "so my deal is that you earn my power and also slowly undo the seal. I promise I will not try to escape if you earn my trust," said Toriko. "But I sensed your chakra and it seemed very vile, are you sure that I would be able to control it?" Naruto questioned, still a bit skeptical. Very perceptive, Toriko thought. "Well, that's where your chakra comes in, so do we have a deal?" asked Toriko with an outstretched hand. "Sure, why not?" replied Naruto as he shook her hand. Wow, I never expected him to accept the deal. Thought Toriko, already starting to trust Naruto a little. "By the way, what's with this Ower?" asked Naruto. "I don't know, it's your mind," said Toriko. "Well, let's change that," said Naruto as he put his hands on his temples and concentrated. All of a sudden the inside of the cage morphed into a grassy, hilly field with a forest farther off to the right and mountains in the background to the left. "Thank you so much," Toriko said, hugging Naruto and making him blush. "Anything for a beautiful woman such as yourself," replied Naruto, making Toriko blush. "Alright, get out of here, you have your first day at the academy pretty soon," Toriko said, shooing Naruto. "Alright, bye Toriko-chan," said Naruto as he left. "Chan? This could be an interesting partnership," Toriko thought. "Alright class, we have a new student. Please welcome him with open arms," said the teacher, Iruka-sensei. "Hi, my name is Naruto Uzumaki," said Naruto as he went to sit down. He sat down by a raven-haired kid. "Hi, I'm Naruto," said Naruto. "Chan, just stay out of my way," said the boy. "What's his problem?" thought Naruto. "He's the last Uchiha alive in the village," came the response from Toriko. "Oh hey Toriko, I did know that we could communicate outside of my mind," thought Naruto. "Yeah, I can, and also thanks for the field," Toriko said. Yup, Naruto was interrupted from his conversation when a blur of pink and purple came to stand before him. "Hey, who told you that you could talk to my," said the purple blur before she got a look at Naruto. "Wow, he's really cute," thought the blur until she was interrupted from her thoughts. "What were you about to say, Ino?" said the pink blur, growing a tick mark on her head. "Nothing, Sakura," said the now identified Ino, who was still staring at Naruto. "Are you okay?" asked Naruto, causing Ino to blink and then blush. "Oh yeah, I'm fine," said Ino, still with a blush on her face. The now identified Sakura noticed this and got a devious grin on her face. "Oh, so now you have a crush on Naruto here," said Sakura, causing Ino to blush an even deeper shade of red and causing Naruto to blush a little. "No, I don't, stupid forehead," said Ino, getting a tick mark on her forehead. "Whatever, Ino pig, he still isn't as hot as Sasuke," said Sakura, which got a HN from Sasuke. Ino and Sakura started headbutting until Iruka interrupted them. "Alright class, let's settle down. Now for our first lesson, ninja tactics. Time skip 1 year. Alright class, today is the day of your exams," said Iruka, and everyone in the classroom except for Sasuke and Naruto groaned. Sasuke and Naruto had become major rivals over the years. Naruto was better than Sasuke, but Sasuke's style got Rookie of the Year because it came down to voting and most of the people didn't want the demon brat getting Rookie of the Year. Naruto and Iruka had also become very close and Iruka felt like an older brother to Naruto. However, there was also another sensei whose name was Mizuki. He acted alright in class, but Naruto knew that Mizuki hated him. Ino and Naruto also grew closer over the year. Naruto would always go with her up to the Yondame's head. Naruto had grown a little and was now 5'4" and the second tallest person in the class besides Choji Akimichi. Alright, now the first part will be the written exam. You will have 50 minutes to complete this section. Ready, begin. Time skip 50 minutes. Alright class, pencils down," said Iruka after 50 minutes. Naruto had finished 20 minutes early and had taken a nap while talking to Toriko. Toriko woke him up after the test was over to hand in his paper. Kamo-sensei had taught him all of the stuff on the test and he knew that he got a 100. Alright, now let's move on to the next section, kunai and shuriken throwing, said Iruka as he and his students moved outside. Naruto went right to a tree and sat down to watch the other kids go. Time skip 20 minutes. Naruto, you're up, said Iruka. Okay, said Naruto as he walked over and got 10 shuriken and 10 kunai. He walked in front of the target and threw all 10 of his kunai at the same time, which all hit the bullseye mark. He then moved over to the next target and threw all of the shuriken at the same time and they hit the bullseye also. Everyone except for Sasuke and Ino gasped. Ino knew that Naruto was good because he had shown her. Sasuke had known because he was spying on Naruto training, but because Naruto was a powerful censor, he knew what Sasuke was doing and offered to train with Sasuke instead. Sasuke rejected. Naruto, you pass, said Iruka. Now onto Taijutsu, said Iruka. You, spar me, said Sasuke to Naruto. Okay, said Naruto as he walked up to the sparring field. Ready, begin, said Iruka as Sasuke got into his clan stance and Naruto got into his modified academy stance. Sasuke ran at Naruto and sent a punch at his face. Naruto blocked his punch and sent one at Sasuke's stomach. The punch connected and Sasuke hunched over, but he got back up. I'm not going to lose to some filth like you, growled out Sasuke. Hey, just because you're a part of the esteemed Uchiha clan doesn't mean you have to be arrogant about it, retorted Naruto. Shut the fuck up about the Uchiha clan, you don't know how much I lost, yelled Sasuke. This got Naruto really angry and when Sasuke threw a punch at Naruto's face, Naruto dodged it and sent a well-timed chakra punch at Sasuke's face. The punch connected sending Sasuke into a boulder which shattered on impact. No, you shut the fuck up. You're not the only one who lost someone on that day. Tetsuya Ajasan and Hira Abasan were the only ones who loved me when nobody else did, screamed Naruto as he couldn't help but start crying. Sasuke saw this from his position on the ground and couldn't help but feel sorry, he didn't know that Naruto had people from the Uchiha clan. This statement made everyone else sad except for Mizuki who was only a little affected. I am sorry, said Sasuke as a lone tear traveled down his face. Ino came over and hugged Naruto and Sakura came to help Sasuke. Alright, this fight is over, Naruto wins, said Iruka as he helped Sasuke up. Little did everyone know that had been the catalyst for Sasuke's Sharingan and also for Naruto and Sasuke's friendship. Time skip 30 minutes. The Taijutsu matches had finished and everyone had gone inside for ninjutsu. Naruto was first. Alright Naruto, first you will do the clone jutsu, then the transformation jutsu, and finally the replacement jutsu. First up is Naruto, Iruka said as Naruto went up to perform the jutsus. Bunshin no jutsu, clone technique, Naruto said as 5 clones of himself came out. Then they dispelled. Enj no jutsu, transformation technique, said Naruto as he turned into the Sandame Hokage and then changed back. Awarimi no jutsu, body replacement technique, said Naruto as he replaced himself with a log. He then came back. Good job Naruto, you pass, said Iruka. Time skip 30 minutes. Alright now I will be putting you on your teams, said Iruka. Naruto zoned out and started talking to Toriko about how she liked her field. He only listened when Ino's team was called. She was on Team 10 with Shikamaru Nara and Choji Akimichi. Then they called his team. Team 7. Naruto Uzumaki, Sakura Haruno, Naruto groaned to himself, and Sasuke Uchiha. Naruto perked up a little. Your sensei will be Kakashi Haddock. At hearing his sensei's name, Naruto laughed and groaned at the same time. Kakashi had always been late to every one of his practices except for the first one. However, he made up for his lateness by being a really good sensei. Time skipped 2 hours. Alright guys, let's get down to business, said Kakashi as he walked into the classroom. Where have you been? Sakura screeched. My first impression of you guys, Kakashi said ignoring Sakura. I hate you, said Kakashi. However, the eye smile he gave to Naruto suggested otherwise. Alright now let's go up on the roof to discuss some things, said Kakashi as he and Naruto shoeshined up to the roof, greatly surprising Sakura. However, she and Sasuke still ran up to the roof. Okay, now let's do an exercise, said Kakashi as Sakura and Sasuke got up onto the roof. So I want you to tell me your name, likes and dislikes, and hobbies and dreams, said Kakashi. Can you do it first as an example? Sakura asked. Fine, my name is Kakashi Haddock, I have many likes and dislikes, none of which any of you guys should know. My hobbies, Kakashi scratched his head, my dreams, he scratched his head again. Alright now you pinky, he said pointing to Sakura. All we learned was your name, but whatever. My name is Sakura Haruno. My likes are, looks at Sasuke with a smile, my dislikes are Naruto, gets a glare from Naruto. My hobbies are, looks at Sasuke with a blush, my dreams are, looks at Sasuke again with a pervy smile and blood trickling from her nose. Looks like I have a fangirl on my hands and not much of a team player either, Kakashi thought. Okay, you next. He said, pointing to Sasuke. My name is Sasuke Uchiha and the only living thing I like is Naruto. This got a smile from Naruto, but Sakura started crying. I dislike many things. I don't have any hobbies or dreams, but my ambition is to kill a certain someone. Okay, Kakashi said, and last but not least Naruto. Kakashi said, pointing to Naruto. Okay, I like training and ramen and I dislike fangirls, Sakura glared at Naruto. My hobbies are eating ramen and training and my dream is to become the most powerful shinobi and Hokage ever. Alrighty then, meet me tomorrow at training ground 7 at 9 AM and don't eat breakfast unless you want to throw up. Said Kakashi. Hi. Said all three of the kids as they left. Time skipped 6 hours. Naruto had just gotten back home from hanging out with Ino and went to bed after a long day. Right now he is talking to Toriko. Wow, I've never realized how cool this field is. Said Naruto in awe. Yeah, it is pretty fun in here, said Toriko, but it can get kind of boring in here at times. Oh, let me fix that then. Naruto said as he put his hands on his temples. When he took them off, there was a stream that led to a pond with a waterfall and cherry blossom trees surrounding it. Also, there were foxes that were running around and nuzzling Toriko and Naruto. Toriko petted one on the head. Thank you so much Naruto-kun. Said Toriko, which surprised Naruto because of the kun part. You're welcome Toriko-chan, Naruto replied. Alright, well I had better actually hit the sack. Oh wait, by the way, you can now use 2 tails of my power without losing control. Toriko said. Okay, thanks. Naruto said with a smile. Oh, and also, something is happening outside of your apartment. She said, cutting the connection. Naruto woke up and jumped out of the window. He looked to the right and saw a man running towards the gates with a giant scroll on his back. A scroll of seals. Thought Naruto as he moved into action. Oten. Dorakeki, Earth release. Earth-style wall, Naruto said as he slammed his hands into the ground. A giant wall sprang up in front of the man. Give me the scroll Mizuki. Shouted Naruto to the now identified Mizuki. HNHNHNHNH, you think I'm going to give you this scroll? Orochimaru promised to give me power if I brought him this scroll. Said Mizuki with a sneer. Fine, I'll just have to stop you then. Replied Naruto. As if. Well, at least I get to have ultimate power and kill the demon brat. Said Mizuki. Do you know why everyone hates you so much? Asked Mizuki. Yeah, it's because I have the Kyuubi no Kitsune inside of me, but she's actually a very nice girl. Said Naruto, getting a blush from Toriko. Girl? Thought Mizuki out loud, but he was interrupted as Naruto ran at him. He took out a demon windmill shuriken and threw it at Naruto. Naruto was prepared for this and took out his sword, channeled some wind chakra into it and sliced straight through the shuriken all while running. He then put away his sword and got into his Genken stance. Mizuki tried to punch him, but Naruto spun around the punch and sent chakra to his elbow. At the same time he elbowed Mizuki in the head and the impact was so hard that when Mizuki's face hit the ground, it went right through it. It was a one-hit KO. Alright, now to tell Gigi. Said Naruto as he bound Mizuki and Shushin to the Hokage's office with Mizuki and the scroll. When Naruto got to the Hokage's office he told Hiruzen what had happened with Mizuki. The part about Orochimaru worried him the most. I'll have to deal with this personally. Thought Sarutobi. I see, well I guess I have no other choice but to give the scroll to you for safekeeping. If you want, you can study a few techniques from it. Said Sarutobi. Cool, see ya Gigi. Said Naruto as he Shushined back to his apartment. He studied some new ninjutsu and even learned some fuinjutsu for the next day. Time skipped 10 o'clock. Alright, sorry I'm late, I ran across a black cat and I had to take the long road. Said Kakashi. Whatever, let's just get this started. Said Sasuke with a bored look. Alright then, here are the rules, same as in canon. Said Kakashi. Ready, begin. Said Kakashi. Everyone besides Naruto disappeared. Wow Naruto, I'd expect you of all people to know that one of the main tactics of a ninja is stealth. Kakashi said. That is true, unless I already have a plan. Said Naruto as he ran at Kakashi. Man, now I can't read any icha. Thought Kakashi as he got on the defensive. Naruto quickly delivered 2 punches which Kakashi dodged. Naruto then went for the leg sweep and when Kakashi jumped in the air, Naruto went through some hand signs at a very fast pace. Ton. Datapa, wind release. Great breakthrough, said Naruto as he sent Kakashi into a tree. However, Kakashi dispelled once he hit the tree. I knew it now, where's the real, thought Naruto until he sensed Kakashi too late as he was kicked in the back of the head. You'll have to do better than tha, said Kakashi until he noticed the seal on Naruto's back. Wa thought Kakashi until he realized and jumped away at the last second before Naruto exploded. Woo, that was close, but since when did Naruto learn the shadow clone technique and Fuinjutsu, sealing techniques? Thought Kakashi as another Naruto came out and ran at Kakashi. Alright then. Said Kakashi as he ran at Naruto and attacked him this time. He quickly landed a strong punch on Naruto, but then he dispelled sending smoke everywhere. When did he learn to use the Kamuri Bunshin, smoke clone? Thought Kakashi until he heard Naruto's voice through the smoke screen. Oten. Doric Taiga, Earth Release. Earth Flow River, said Naruto as a river of mud spread around Kakashi's legs, effectively getting him stuck. Then the smokescreen cleared and Naruto, Sakura and Sasuke were standing there. I hope you didn't think that I hadn't figured out this little exercise. Of course one of us could never beat a Jonin by ourselves, so the point of the exercise has to be teamwork. Said Naruto to Kakashi. Why does he have to be so damn perceptive and where is he learning all of these jutsu? Thought Kakashi as Naruto and Sasuke went through some hand signs. Oten. Directen, Earth Release. Earth Dragon Bullet, Naruto said as the head of a dragon came up from the river of mud and shot out bullets of mud at Kakashi. Haten. Enden, Fire Release. Flame Bullet, said Sasuke as he shot out bullets of fire from his mouth, which collided with the mud bullets that were going towards Kakashi as he made some hand signs. Suiten. Suriken no Jutsu, Water Release. Water Dragon Bullet Technique, said Kakashi as a huge dragon made of water came out of the lake and smashed into the flaming earth bullets and freed Kakashi at the same time. Kakashi jumped out of the mud river while Sasuke did some hand signs. Haten. Pankakik no Jutsu, Fire Release. Great Fireball Technique, said Sasuke as he shot a huge fireball out of his mouth at Kakashi. Kakashi jumped over the fireball, but that was what Naruto had planned. Ton. Kei's no Yaiba, Wind Release. Blade of Wind, Naruto said as he threw a sickle of wind at Kakashi and aimed it perfectly so that it cut the bells off of Kakashi's waist. Sakura ran underneath the bells and was about to catch them when Kakashi yelled. It's 12 o'clock. He said as Sakura caught the bells. Oh no, we were so close. Said Sakura. Well now Naruto you have to be tied up to a log while the other two eat lunch because you attacked first. Said Kakashi and Naruto groaned. Naruto was tied to the log and Kakashi left. When he was gone Sasuke spoke. I'm not gonna let my friend go hungry. He said trying to feed Naruto with chopsticks. Yeah without you we probably wouldn't have even gotten close to getting those bells from Kakashi-sensei. Said Sakura as she also tried to feed Naruto with chopsticks. Oh no, he's coming. Said Naruto as he sensed Kakashi approaching. All of a sudden the sky got dark and lightning flashed as Kakashi appeared via Shushin. I told you not to feed him. Said Kakashi scaring the shit out of the three genin. You said Kakashi with a demonic voice that scared the three even more, pass. Finished Kakashi with an eye smile as the sky lightened up. Wah? Said the three genin in unison letting out a breath that they didn't know they were holding. Ninja who break the rules are scum, but ninja who don't protect their friends are even worse than scum. Said Kakashi. I will always remember that. Said Naruto with tears coming down his eyes. Alright, get some rest because tomorrow is your first mission. Said Kakashi with an eye smile. Kakashi and Naruto shooshined away and Sasuke and Sakura walked home. Later that night. Hey Toriko, I'm going on my first mission tomorrow. Said Naruto to his tenant. That's cool, but you know that it's only a D-rank mission, so it should be pretty boring. I bet you won't make it through the week. Said Toriko while she was petting one of the foxes that Naruto made for her. You have yourself a deal Dadabeo. Said Naruto. Just like his mother, but cuter. Thought Toriko. Hey Toriko, I'm going to open your cage. Said Naruto greatly surprising the woman. Wah? She said in disbelief, but she quickly recovered, thank you so much. Said Toriko as she ran up to Naruto and kissed him on the lips. It was one of the best experiences that Naruto had ever had in his life and when Toriko pulled away, Naruto was still dazed. Seeing this Toriko blushed. Naruto opened the cage and was about to leave when Toriko spoke. Oh yes since you opened my cage, you can use 4 tails of my power safely. She said. Okay. Naruto said as he cut the connection. The whole rest of the night Naruto was thinking about his and Toriko's kiss and Toriko knew too because she could see his thoughts. Time skip 1 week. Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura and Kakashi were in the Hokage's office. Digi, I can't take any more D-rank missions, I got electrocuted on the first one. Said Naruto. Haha that was really funny plus I won the bet. Said Toriko and Naruto. Naruto just ignored the comment and continued. We need better missions than this. He said. Yeah. Said Sakura and Sasuke in unison, but Sasuke and apostrophe D to recover. I think they're ready Hokage-sama. Said Kakashi. Okay, said Hiruzen, this is Tazuna. It was Naruto's first mission on Team 7. There had been reports of a yellow mouse terrorizing the villagers. Naruto and the rest of the team had met up at Training Ground 7 and searched the forest for a few hours. Finally they found their target. It was in fact a mouse-like creature with red circles on its cheeks and a tail that looked like a lightning bolt. "What is that?" asked Naruto. "I don't know, but be careful," said Sakura. "Oh wow, it's a Pikachu. I should have brought my Pokeballs," thought Kakashi. Naruto didn't heed Sakura's warning and jumped on the Pikachu. This was a big mistake. "Pikachu!" said Pikachu as it electrocuted Naruto. "Ah!" screamed Naruto as everyone's sweat dropped. That was the start to a string of odd D-rank missions. The drunk old man walked into the Hokage's office while Hiruzen spoke. "Alright, your mission is to escort Tazuna-san here to the Land of Waves," said the Hokage. "Seriously, these kids are going to escort me?" asked Tazuna skeptically. "I think that these children are more than capable of handling this mission. Plus they have a Jonin sensei with them just in case things get a little out of hand," said the Hokage to Tazuna. "Alright, I hope you're right," said Tazuna with a sigh. "Alright, now that that's settled, meet us tomorrow at the gate at 9:30 sharp," said Kakashi to Team 7. "Okay," replied Team 7 in unison as Naruto and Kakashi shoo-shined away and Sakura and Sasuke walked out leaving Tazuna and the Hokage alone. "Don't worry, those children are more than capable. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some paperwork to finish," said Sarutobi to Tazuna and Tazuna left the room. Next day. Naruto and the rest of Team 7 got to the gates at 9:30. When they got there, Kakashi and Tazuna were already there waiting for them. "Why Kakashi-sensei is early?" Sakura asked in disbelief. "I'm never late for missions," was Kakashi's reply. "Okay, let's get going. This trip is going to take 3 days," said Kakashi as the group walked off. Next day. Team 7 was already a third of the way to the Land of Waves. Tazuna was very happy that nothing had happened yet, but he knew that would change soon. Just as he was thinking that, the group walked past a puddle of water. Kakashi and Naruto both noticed this. "I really wish I could have 2 bowls of ramen right now," said Naruto with a groan. Just as the group passed the puddle, it exploded and 2 figures came out holding a chain in between them. They ran straight for Kakashi and cut him in half with the chain. "1 down and 4 to go," said one of the people. The one that said it had long spiky black hair while the other on had long straight black hair. They both had on Kurigakure forehead protectors, but the one with spiky hair had a forehead protector with 2 horns and the other had 1 horn. Naruto recognized these 2 ninja from the bingo book as the Demon Brothers. They were Chunin level missing nin from Kurigakure. "Well, it looks like we took out the Jonin in the group, so these genin shouldn't be a problem," said the one with the 2 horns known as Maizu. As both brothers ran at Team 7, Naruto gave the orders. "Sasuke, you come with me. Sakura, you protect Tazuna-san," said Naruto. Sakura was freaking out but was trying her best to stay under control. Naruto unsheathed his sword and surrounded it with wind chakra. He and Sasuke ran at the 2 brothers and attacked. Sasuke threw shuriken at the brothers which forced them to jump. Naruto took advantage of this and cut their chain in half. When the brothers landed they got in their stances. Maizu had a gauntlet on his left hand and his brother Gozu had one on his right hand. "They're a little better than I thought, but we'll destroy them into jutsu," said Gozu. Naruto sheathed his sword and got into his Kenken stance, while Sasuke activated his clan's bloodline and got into his stance. Naruto ran at Maizu, while Sasuke charged Gozu. Maizu sent a punch at Naruto with his gauntlet hand. However, much to everyone's surprise, especially Maizu and Gozu's, Naruto sent his fist at the gauntlet and due to the extremely well-timed chakra output, Naruto smashed the gauntlet to pieces. Naruto then sent another chakra punch at Maizu's face, which sent him into a tree and effectively knocked him out. Sasuke was having a little bit of a harder time. Even though he could effectively dodge all of Gozu's attacks with his Sharingan, he was having trouble getting past the gauntlet's defense. Finally Sasuke was able to get through Gozu's defense and kicked him down. However, when Gozu was getting up, Kakashi appeared behind him and chopped him in the neck and knocked him out. Kakashi then pulled some rope from his pouch and tied the 2 brothers up to a tree. When they woke up, Kakashi had some questions. "We easily spotted you because Naruto here is a powerful sensor and the number of ramen he donated was the signal for how many people there were. Also, why would there be a puddle when it hasn't rained in days?" said Kakashi. "Now, who do you work for?" Kakashi asked. "We'll never tell you," came the reply from Maizu. "Naruto," said Kakashi as he walked towards Tazuna. "Nihinshimajan no Jutsu, Temple of Nirvana technique," Naruto said as he cast the Genjutsu on the brothers. White feathers appeared in front of them and because they couldn't use their hands to dispel the Genjutsu, they were soon unconscious. "Alright, you can kill them now, I'll just ask Azuna what this is about," Kakashi said, which caused Sasuke to start twitching uncontrollably. "You can't make them do that," Sakura shouted as Kakashi got over to her. If they don't do it now, they won't be able to when it really matters, said Kakashi in response. Naruto, however, much to everyone's surprise including Kakashi's a little, took out his sword from its sheath and stabbed Mizu straight through his head. Sakura was horrified until Naruto spoke. I will never flinch to kill someone that tries to hurt what I need to protect, said Naruto in a low whisper. This reassured Sasuke as he took out a kunai and slit Gozu's throat. This got Sakura to thinking. So Naruto would only kill someone to protect us. Maybe I should start being kinder to him, thought Sakura. Alright Tazuna, talk, said Kakashi to Tazuna who was getting a little nervous. Alright fine, I'm a bridge builder from the land of waves and we don't have any ninja villages. We have been cut off from trade by a man named Gato and I was supposed to build a bridge which would free us from his tyranny. He has sent a few missing nin after me and that's why I came to your village, said Tazuna to Kakashi. This is at least a B rank depending on who Gato has sent after you, but you paid for a C rank, said Kakashi accusingly. I know but I'm so poor that a C rank was all that I could afford, said Tazuna getting really nervous now. Kakashi-sensei, I think that we should continue this mission because I don't want to have to go back doing D ranks, said Naruto. Fine, but when this is over you're paying us for at least a B rank mission, said Kakashi to Tazuna. Okay anything just please don't leave me, said Tazuna as the group walked off. Time skipped 2 days. Team 7 and Tazuna had just landed in the land of waves. They were walking towards where Tazuna lived when all of a sudden, Naruto threw a kunai at one of the bushes. A rabbit jumped out from the bushes. Why would you attack that rabbit? Asked Sakura, but she was hushed by Naruto. Everybody duck, said Naruto and everyone complied. A sword flew by where their heads should have been and struck a tree. A ninja appeared on top of the sword and spoke. Ah, if it isn't Konoha's copycat ninja, Kakashi Haddock, said the ninja. Zabuza Mamachi or should I call you the demon of the mist? Said Kakashi. I do not own Naruto, but one day I will. Looks off into space and daydreams about the future. Wow, I'm surprised that you know who I am, said Zabuza with a menacing smile. Yeah, of course, you're in the bingo book, said Kakashi matter-of-factly. Oh yeah, said Zabuza which made everyone sweat drop. Whatever, I'm still going to kill you all, he said with another menacing smile. Kurigakure no jutsu, hiding in mist technique, said Zabuza as a thick mist covered the area. Naruto, you be my backup. Sasuke and Sakura, you guys protect Tazuna. Who's going to protect them? Said Zabuza's voice coming from everywhere. All of a sudden, Zabuza appeared behind Sakura. Naruto sensed him in time and disappeared to behind Sakura and blocked the attack. He was on one knee and with his sword pointing to his right. Sakura turned around and gasped at the sight. Wow, this kid is a pretty good swordsman, said Zabuza with an amused look on his face. He saved me, thought Sakura with a surprised look on her face. Zabuza disengaged and went back to hiding in the mist. So Kakashi, how about a battle? Said Zabuza's voice from everywhere. Fine, said Kakashi as he revealed his Sharingan. Ooh the Sharingan so soon? Said Zabuza in mock surprise. Why does Kakashi-sensei have the Sharingan? He isn't an Uchiha, thought Sasuke in surprise. Kakashi ran at Zabuza and quickly got a kunai in front of Zabuza's throat. However, it turned out that Zabuza was a water clone. Zabuza then appeared behind Kakashi and sliced him in half, only to find out that Kakashi was also a water clone. Kakashi appeared behind Zabuza and held a kunai to his throat again only for him to find out that it was Anther water clone. Zabuza then appeared behind Kakashi again and slashed, forcing Kakashi to jump back into the water. Zabuza then appeared next to Kakashi. Suiton. Surum no Jutsu, water release water prison technique, Zabuza said as he trapped Kakashi in a sphere of water. Zabuza then created a water clone to go deal with the rest of Team 7 and Tazuna. He was releasing so much killing intent that Sakura and Sasuke were sweating and Tazuna couldn't move. However, Naruto was not fazed that much by it. Alright boy, let's see how good you are, said Zabuza's clone smiling. Fine, but you asked for it, Naruto said with a smirk. Naruto ran at the clone of Zabuza while he unsheathed his sword. When he got to Zabuza, they clashed swords. The clone swung his sword in lunges and slashes which Naruto was having a hard time blocking and parrying. The clone sent a powerful swing at Naruto which he blocked. However, when he blocked his sword snapped in half. No. Though Kakashi. However, Naruto wasn't fazed by this and when the clone swung his sword at Naruto's head, he ducked under the swing and stabbed the clone with the broken end of the sword. The clone dispelled and Zabuza looked impressed. Wow kid, you're pretty good. I never expected you to be able to keep up with my clone, let alone beat it, Zabuza said in amusement. You haven't seen anything yet, said Naruto as red chakra started to spread around him. Oh no, thought Kakashi as Naruto grew 3 tails. What is this power? Said Zabuza. It's the power of the Kyuubi and it's what I'm going to defeat you with. Said Naruto in a now demonic voice that scared his teammates and Tazuna. They could feel the evilness of the chakra and it was suffocating them. Wait, is he controlling that power? Thought Kakashi in shock. Here I come. Said Naruto as he disappeared in a blur and reappeared in front of Zabuza. What? Exclaimed Zabuza as he put both of his hands in front of him to block Naruto's punch. However, the blow was so powerful that Zabuza was still sent flying. Kakashi was freed from his prison and walked to Naruto. Naruto, you can control the Kyuubi's power? Asked Kakashi in awe. Yeah, I struck a deal with her and she said it's because of my chakra. Replied Naruto in his demonic voice. I'm going to have to inform Hokage-sama. Thought Kakashi. Zabuza was about to get up again, but he was hit in the neck by 2 senbon, effectively killing him. Almost out of thin air appeared a hunter nin with a mask. Naruto's chakra shroud receded as the hunter nin walked over to them. Thank you for all of your help. It took forever for me to find Zabuza. Said the masked ninja. You're welcome, we were trying to fulfill a mission when he attacked us. Said Kakashi. Yeah, sorry about that. Well, I have to go. Said the hunter nin as she left with the body. That wasn't a real hunter nin. Said Naruto much to their teammates' surprise. I know, she would have taken the senbon out before she left. Said Kakashi. Yeah, that and the fact that his chakra that was going to his brain got disrupted and caused a death-like state. Said Naruto. Wow, his sensing ability is that good. What other surprises do you have up your sleeve? Thought Kakashi. Alright Tazuna, we need a place to sleep. Zabuza is definitely coming back. Said Kakashi scaring Tazuna. Alright, follow me. Said Tazuna as the group walked towards his house. When the group got to Tazuna's house, everyone smelled a delicious aroma coming from Tazuna's house, which made everyone's stomach grumble. I'm starved. Said Naruto and everyone agreed. As they walked into the house, they saw a woman at the stove cooking food. This is my daughter Tsunami. Said Tazuna to the group as they greeted the woman. Who are you guys? Asked an unknown voice. The group turned around to see a boy standing at the steps. That's Inari. Said Tazuna. Chapter 7 so please enjoy. I don't own Naruto but maybe somewhere out there in another dimension I do. Leave no one wants you ninja here anyway. Said a visibly angered Inari. Inari. Said Tsunami as her son ran out of the house. I'll go talk to him. Said Naruto as he walked out of the house to go look for Inari. I'm so sorry about that, his stepfather died opposing Gato. Said Tsunami with a sad look on her face. I think Naruto can handle this. Said Kakashi with an eye smile. With Inari and Naruto. Naruto found Inari sitting on a tree stump crying. He walked over and patted Inari on the back. I heard about your stepdad. Said Naruto, but Inari turned away from him. What do you care? Said Inari with a biting tone. I do care because I know what it feels like to always be attacked and oppressed. Said Naruto with a reassuring tone. You do? Inari asked turning around to face Naruto. Yeah, I've always had to run away from people who would try to hurt me and there were only a few people who actually liked me. It was the worst on my birthday. Said Naruto in a sad tone. Why didn't your parents protect you? Asked Inari a little surprised. I don't have any parents. The Hokage said that they died when I was just an infant. Said Naruto with a lone tear going down his eye. Wow, I never knew that there were people who had it worse than me. Said Inari. Yeah, well that's why I fight to protect the ones that I care about. That's what keeps me going. Said Naruto with a sad smile. Thank you Naruto-san. Said a grateful Inari. You're welcome. Now you should get back home because I have something to do. Said Naruto as Inari started back home. Naruto walked a little further into the forest until he ran into the chakra signature that he had noticed when the hunter nin had shown up. When he got into a clearing, there was a girl in a blue kimono picking grains. Hi. She said upon seeing Naruto walk into the clearing. Hello, how's Zabuza? Said Naruto. Huh? Said the girl tripping and falling. I'm a censor. Said Naruto. Damn it. Said the girl getting back up. What's your name? Asked Naruto. It's Haku. Said the girl now identified as Haku. Just leave and we'll deal with Gato. Said Naruto. It's not that simple. He's paying us. Said Haku. Fine, but then I'll be forced to fight you. Said Naruto leaving. Oh and by the way, said Haku gaining Naruto's attention, I'm a boy. No, you're not. Said Naruto before leaving. How is he so damn perceptive? Thought Haku. Naruto was on his way back to the house when he heard a call for help coming from a nearby town. He got to the town as quickly as he could to see 5 bandits gripping none other than Tsunami. All of the bandits wore blue battle gear with swords attached to their backs. Shut up bitch, you don't pay your taxes to Gato, then you'll have to pay us. said the bandit holding down Tsunami. Hey, the lady doesn't like that, said Naruto, who was on top of a building. Who do you think you are, brat? Said the bandit next to the one that was holding down Tsunami. Naruto vanished in a blur and was in front of the bandit that just spoke and stabbed him with a kunai. He then turned quickly and slashed the one that was holding Tsunami's throat. He fell to the ground gurgling up blood. The name's Naruto, he said, looking down at the one whose throat he just slashed. Thank you, Naruto-san, said Tsunami. Don't thank me yet, said Naruto as he turned to the rest of the bandits who pulled out their swords. The first bandit ran at Naruto and attempted a downward slash. However, Naruto dodged to the left and stabbed the bandit in his stomach. He then flipped over him and took out a shuriken from his pocket. He threw the shuriken at the second bandit and hit him right between the ribs and the heart. Naruto landed and turned around to see the third bandit holding Tsunami with his sword to her neck. Make one move and I'll slice her neck, said the bandit, who was shaking a little. Before he could react, the bandit was stabbed in the forehead by the kunai which was previously in Naruto's hand. He fell to the ground dead. Thank you so much, Naruto-san, said Tsunami, who ran up and hugged Naruto. It's really no problem, said Naruto, blushing a bit. I'll escort you home, said Naruto as he and Tsunami walked home. Be what? Yelled Tazuna as Tsunami explained what happened for the 5th time. How can I ever repay you? Said Tazuna to Naruto. There's no need to, I was just doing my job, said Naruto with a sheepish grin. Good job, Naruto, said Sasuke with a smile as he and Naruto fist bumped. Yeah, you did good, Baka, said Sakura with a smile. Thanks, Sakura, said Naruto with another sheepish grin. You did good, Naruto, said Kakashi. Thank you, Naruto-san, said Inari. I need to train harder to surpass him, thought Sasuke. Sooner or later, Naruto's going to surpass me, thought Kakashi. Alright, let's get some shut-eye, we have a big day tomorrow, said Kakashi. Everyone went to bed for the big battle they knew they were going to have tomorrow. Naruto woke to the sound of birds chirping outside. He went downstairs but couldn't find his teammates or Tazuna. Where did everyone go? Asked Naruto. They went to the bridge and said that you deserved the rest, said Tsunami. Oh no, they're not going to leave me out of this one, said Naruto as he created some shadow clones and instructed them to watch over Inari and Tsunami. He then shooshined to the bridge. When he got to the bridge, he could see Sakura protecting Tazuna and a dome of ice mirrors. He couldn't see Kakashi, but he heard the clanging of metal and could feel Kakashi and Zabuza's chakra signatures. Help, Sasuke, said Sakura, pointing towards the dome of ice mirrors. Naruto ran into the ice dome to see that Sasuke was on the ground with Senbon sticking out of his back. Get out of here, dope, said Sasuke as he closed his eyes and slumped on the ground. No, yelled Naruto as his chakra flared. His chakra presence alone cracked the ice mirrors a little. What is this? Said Haku, slightly frightened. Kakashi and Zabuza sensed the spike in chakra and shooshined to where it was coming from. When they got there, they saw Naruto with deep green colored chakra coming from him. What the? Said Zabuza. That's not the Kyuubi's power. No, it can't be, said Kakashi as he realized what it was. Mokuton. Bai no Jutsu, wood release. Wood expulsion technique, called Naruto as a large wooden face came up from the ground and surrounded Naruto and Sasuke. When did he learn wood release? Asked a shocked Zabuza. I don't know, replied an equally shocked Kakashi. Haimton. Kakira Mksetsu, ice release. Black dragon blizzard, Haku said, drawing some ice from her mirrors. The ice turned black and formed into a dragon. The dragon rammed into the dome and there was an explosion. However, when the blizzard ceased, the dome was untouched. Naruto opened up the dome from the line down the middle and did some hand signs. Mokuton. Deijurin no Jutsu, wood release. Great forest technique, said Naruto as he stretched out his hand, which morphed into wood. The wood branched out into sharp spikes and shattered most of the mirrors, including the one that Haku was in. She fell to the ground with a cut in her side. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, they heard clapping. They turned to see where it was coming from, only to see Geto. Well done. Kill them and join me, said Geto with a large smile. Why you? Said Zabuza. However, as he was about to go, a hand rested on his shoulder. It was Naruto's. I'll deal with this, he said. Red chakra started to surround him, quickly turning crimson. He grew 4 tails made out of chakra. He then disappeared in a blur. Bet them, said Geto. The bandit started running forward, but Naruto appeared in front of them. Suiton. Shuriken no Jutsu, water release. Water dragon bullet technique, said Naruto as a huge water dragon that was bigger than the bridge came out of the water and slammed into the army of bandits who all fell into the sea. He then sent out a chakra arm which ripped through Geto's torso, killing him. Naruto, are you still in control? Asked Kakashi. Yeah, I am, replied Naruto in a demonic voice. He then let his shroud dissipate as he walked over to help Sasuke and Haku. "Alright, let's go," said Kakashi. "Zabuza and Haku, you guys should come with us back to the village." "Alright, but I want to spar Naruto again," said Zabuza. "Deal," said Naruto as they started walking back towards the village. Izuna had gotten home after finishing the bridge and told his family what had happened. They were overjoyed to hear it. "Hey Inari," said Izuna. "Yes, Gigi?" asked Inari. "I think I'll call our bridge the Great Naruto Bridge," said Izuna with a smile. "Unknown location. Naruto-kun's power is growing," said a man to someone else. "What do you propose we do about it?" said the other man. "We will deal with him soon," said the man as the moon came out from the clouds and revealed Itachi Uchiha. "I don't own Naruto, but maybe if Kishimoto reads this story, he'll give it to me for free." It had been 3 days since the mission to Wave Country had ended and Team 7, along with Zabuza and Haku, were coming up to Konoha's gates. "Alright guys, we're finally here," said Kakashi. Once they landed at the gates, Konoha's eternal gatekeepers were right there. "Oh, hello Kakashi. Sorry but we cannot let your friends here in unless they have a reason or a note from the Hokage," said Kotetsu pointing to Zabuza and Haku. "We have a note," said Kakashi pulling out the note that he had gotten from the Hokage. Kakashi had sent a letter to Hiruzen before they had left the Wave Country telling him everything that had happened there. The Hokage wanted to talk to everyone once they got back. "Okay, you guys can go," said Izumo. Everyone headed off towards the Hokage tower. Once they got there, they were lit up by the secretary. For some reason, she seemed to be nicer to Naruto. He wasn't sure why though. When they got into the Hokage's office, he was at his desk waiting for them. "Ah, Team 7 and their guests," said Hiruzen with a smile. "Hey old man," said Naruto before he was bonked on the head by Sakura. "Aka, treat Hokage-sama with respect," screeched Sakura making everyone in the room sweat drop. "It's alright Sakura, I allow Naruto to call me that," said Hiruzen. "So, you wanted to speak with us Hokage-sama?" asked Kakashi trying to get to the point. "Ah yes, Sakura and Sasuke, I'm sorry to inform you, but I am going to have to ask you to leave," said Hiruzen. "What? Why does Naruto Baka get to stay?" asked Sakura as she was dragged out of the room. "Alright," said Hiruzen after the two left, "it is my understanding that you two would like to become shinobi of Konoha," Hiruzen said to Zabuza and Haku. "Yes please. I would like to start off fresh and I thought that this would be the best way Hokage-sama," said Zabuza with a slight bow. "Okay, I will have to have a meeting with the council though. For now, please go talk to my secretary and she will take you to a hotel," said Hiruzen as Zabuza and Haku left. "Now Naruto, I would like to talk to you about something," said Hiruzen getting Naruto's attention. "Yes, Gigi?" asked Naruto. "I was informed that during the mission, you exhibited use of the Mokuton, wood release, and control over the Kyuubi," said Hiruzen. "Well, I struck a deal with her that would let me control the amount of power that she gives me at a time, which for right now is 4 tails. As for the wood release, I just felt it," said Naruto. "This is no surprise seeing your family tree," said Hiruzen shocking Kakashi and Naruto. "You mean?" they both said in unison. "Yes Naruto, you are the great-grandson of the Shodai Hokage, Hashirama Senju," said Hiruzen, which surprised the two even more. However, what they were about to hear would top even that. "However, you've only begun to unlock your powers," said Hiruzen with a smirk. "That's amazing," said Naruto, who was jumping up and down for joy. "Though you cannot learn the rest of your family tree until you make chunin," said Hiruzen before he realized the time. "I have a council meeting now, so you are dismissed. Kakashi, I want a full report on the mission," said Hiruzen as Kakashi and Naruto were leaving. However, when Naruto was out of the door, Kakashi turned back around. "I would like to nominate Team 7 for the chunin exams," said Kakashi as he left. Hiruzen smiled because he knew that one of the other jounin would tell Kakashi about the meeting they had earlier. Flashback. Asuma, Kurenai, Might Guy, and about 8 other jounin were in the room with the Hokage. They were talking about the upcoming chunin exams that were being hosted by Konoha. All of the senseis had nominated their teams for the chunin exams. "I wonder if Kakashi will nominate his team," said Guy. Flashback end. "I know you will co-great Naruto-kun," said Hiruzen. While Naruto was walking back, he noticed that people were looking at him and whispering to themselves. However, they didn't seem to be angry. Also sometimes he would hear Hero and Wave and he knew what they were talking about. As he continued walking, he saw Konohamaru running away from Sakura and he ran into a boy with a cat suit and makeup on his face. "Hey, watch where you're going Pipsqueak," said the boy in the cat suit. "Ankura, you need to stop," said a girl with sandy blonde hair tied up into 4 very short ponytails and a fan on her back. "No Tamari, this kid needs to learn his lesson," said the now identified Kankuro. All of a sudden, Naruto was standing next to him with a kunai at his neck. "I wouldn't mess with him if I were you," said Naruto, who got a blush from Temari. "I'll teach you to interfere," said Kankuro before he was stopped by a bone-chilling voice. "Kankuro, you're a disgrace. Put the boy down before I kill you," said a boy with deep red hair and a gourd on his back. "But Gaara," said Kankuro before he was cut off. "Shut up before I kill you," said Gaara with some sand coming from his gourd scaring Kankuro and Temari. Kankuro put Konohamaru down and started to walk off. However, he was hit in the head by a rock that Sasuke, who appeared in the tree, had thrown. Gaara then walked up to Naruto. My mother wants your blood," he said, creeping Naruto out. "I'm okay. By the way, why are you guys here?" Naruto said, recognizing their Suna forehead protectors. "We're here for the chunin exams," said Temari before they left. "Naruto, the one with the gourd on his back, has the Ichibi inside of him," said Toriko. "Are you sure?" said Naruto before he was cut out of his thoughts. "Eru-tu," said a voice from behind him. Naruto turned around just in time for him to be tackled by his favorite blonde girl. "Hey no," Naruto said, giving her a quick peck on the lips as Shikamaru and Choji came from behind her. "Hey Naruto, did you hear about the chunin exams in a week?" asked Shikamaru. "Yeah, those kids from Suna just said that they were in the exams," said Naruto. "Those are the Kazukiya's children," said Shikamaru, surprising Naruto. "You don't say. Well, I'm taking Ino on a date, see you guys later," said Naruto as he and Ino left. At night, after Naruto got back from his date with Ino, he and Team 7 were called to the Hokage's office to inform them that they were in the chunin exams. After the rest of Team 7 left, Hiruzen told Naruto to look for a seal in the scroll of seals. When Naruto got to his house, he opened the scroll and saw the blood seal with the kanji for wood on it. He bit his thumb and unsealed the seal. All of a sudden, Naruto found himself in the middle of a forest with huge trees. However, he was in for the biggest surprise of his life when he turned around. "Hello Senju descendant. I don't own Naruto, but when I win the lottery I will." Naruto turned around and standing right before him was none other than the Shodaime Hokage Hashirama Senju and his wife Mito Uzumaki. "Is this a dream?" Naruto asked seriously. "No, we are residual chakra that was placed in this seal for a Senju to open," said Hashirama before Naruto's eyes widened and he started bowing furiously. "Sorry Mito-sama and Hashirama-sama," said Naruto, still bowing. "You impudent whelp, why did you not bow sooner?" Hashirama bellowed, making Naruto cry and I'm tears. "I'm so sorry," said Naruto until he heard Hashirama laughing his head off. "Hey," said Naruto with a frown. "I'm sorry," said Hashirama. Naruto Uzumaki," said Naruto, making Mito widen her eyes in shock. "You're in Uzumaki and a Senju?" asked Mito, making Naruto nod. "Well then that makes it better," said Hashirama. "I'm your great-grandson," said Naruto, making the couple widen their eyes even more. "Really? Who are your parents?" asked Mito, making Naruto look down in sadness. "They died while I was an infant," said Naruto, making his great-grandparents sadden. "Well," said Hashirama after a moment of silence, "how would you like to learn from each of us?" he said, making Naruto perk up. "I already know Mokuton," said Naruto, making his ancestors' eyes widen. "Really? Well, I'm going to teach you some more techniques," he said, making Naruto nod his head. "Also, since you're in Uzumaki, it will be easier to teach you sealing techniques," said Mito, which Naruto also nodded at. "Alright, now follow us. I put a jutsu on this seal that crams 5 months into one night," said Hashirama as he and Mito walked off in 2 different directions. Naruto created 100 Kage Bunshin, shadow clones, and made 50 go with Mito and the other 50 go with Hashirama. Both of his teachers got to 2 separate clearings and stopped ready to train. With Mito. "Alright Naruto-kun, let's start with sealing," said Mito as all of the Narutos replied. "Right." They all said at the same time, making Mito sweat drop. With Hashirama. "Okay Naruto, get ready for a brutal time," said Hashirama. Naruto gave a determined thumbs up, causing Hashirama to cry and I'm tears. "That's my great-grandson," said Hashirama through his tears. 5 months later. Naruto had grown and was now 5'6" inches and was taller than Choji by an inch. He had gained much more muscle mass and his clothes barely fit him. "You've progressed much Naruto," said Hashirama as Mito nodded. "Alright, well our time is up, we'll miss you Naruto-kun," said Mito with a tear in her eye. "I'll never forget you," Naruto said as the forest faded away. Naruto was back in his room and it was morning time and Naruto left the house to get some new clothes. He got to the store and went into the dressing room to get some new clothes. When he came out, some of the kunoichi in the store got small nosebleeds. Naruto was wearing a black sleeveless hoodie with an orange Uzumaki clan symbol on it and a fishnet shirt underneath that went to between his elbow and shoulder. He wore fingerless black gloves. He had on dark blue sweatpants that were bunched up at the bottom and wrapped with tape. He had the same ninja sandals as before, but they were in a larger size. He paid for his outfit and left to talk to the Hokage. When Naruto got into the Hokage tower, he found out that Hiruzen was waiting for him with Zabuza and Haku. "What's this all about?" asked Naruto when he walked into the office. "Well, as of now we have a new Takebetsu Jonin in the T&I department and who will help Kakashi Haddock with Team 7. Also, we have a new genin. Haku will be on Team 7 and will go on all team missions," Hiruzen said as Naruto perked up. "Cool, wait, won't that not be fair in the chunin exams?" Naruto asked Hiruzen. "Very perceptive, but no, because I have taken extra precautions because of this. I suggest that you start training because the chunin exam starts in a week," Hiruzen said as the three left to go train with their team. 1 week later. Everyone arrived at the academy for the start of the chunin exams. Everyone filed into a room with a door that was blocked by 2 genin. "We're not gonna let you pass," they said, making Naruto sigh. He leaned over to them. "Guys, it's just a genjutsu, but don't say anything," Naruto whispered. "Sasuke Chiha, fight me," said a boy in a green spandex bodysuit with a bowl-style haircut. "Hey Lee," said Naruto, surprising everyone, "I don't think we should fight here." "I agree, Naruto-san, we will fight later at Chiha," Lee said, getting a HN from Sasuke as the teams walked to the second floor. When they got to the second floor, Naruto used his sensing ability to sense people's chakra reserves. He then let out some kai at which some people fainted. "Hey, you shouldn't draw attention to yourselves like that," said a silver-haired man as all of the rookie 9 and guys team came into the room with Ino giving Naruto a hug. "And who are you?" asked Naruto, seeing the Konoha forehead protector on his head. "I'm Kabuto Yakushi," said the now identified Kabuto. "You look kind of old, how long have you been a genin?" Sakura asked. "Well, I've taken this Chunin exam 7 times because they are twice a year," said Kabuto, making everyone's eyes widen. "However, I do have information collected on all of the people here," said Kabuto, taking out a stack of cards. "Can you look up Gaara, Rock Lee, and Naruto Uzumaki?" Sasuke asked with a smirk. "Oh, you already know their names," said Kabuto. "Alright, Gaara first. He is a Sunanin and is the son of the Yondaime Kazekage. Not much about his abilities are known, except that he uses the gourd on his back. It says that he's been on 10 D rank missions, 47 C rank, and 3 B rank. And get this, he's never even gotten a scratch on any of them." Kabuto finished, making everyone in the room gasp. "Now for Rock Lee. He is a Konoha nin who specializes in Taijutsu, but there isn't really anything here about his ninjutsu or genjutsu skills. He's been on 15 D rank missions, 6 C rank, and 1 B rank," Kabuto said. "And finally, Naruto Uzumaki. He is a Konoha nin and is a sensory type nin. It also says that he is good at Tai, Gen, and Ninjutsu, but it doesn't say how good. He has been on 5 D rank missions and 1 C turned A rank mission." Kabuto finished, getting a small gasp from everyone. "He is also called the hero of the wave," Kabuto added. "You shouldn't really have a problem. There is 1 team from Suna, 4 from Kumo, 1 from Odo and Kusa, 2 from Kiri, and 6 from Iwa. They shouldn't give you that much trouble seeing as most of the teams are from Konoha," said Kabuto as Naruto sensed someone coming towards them. "Don't insult Odo, you scum," said a boy with a device on his arm as he tried to punch Kabuto. Kabuto responded by dodging, but his glasses were still somehow cracked, which caught Naruto's attention. Just as Naruto was about to attack, a person walked into the room. "Sit down, maggots, my name is Ibiki Marino and I'll be your proctor for the first test," said the man. Everyone sat down as some chunin walked into the room. They stood in different spots in the room. "Okay, now here are the rules. There are 9 questions on this test and a 10th that is after the test. You start out with 10 points and if you are caught cheating, you will lose a point. If you get to 0, you and your team will be disqualified. Now begin," said Ibiki as everyone started. Naruto used his wood clones to go into the walls and copy down the answers. He then promptly fell asleep. 1 hour later. "Alright, maggots, pencils down. Now is time for the 10th question. You can choose whether or not to answer it, but if you answer it and get it wrong, you will never be able to become Chunin. However, you can just leave and take it again next year," Ibiki said as 2 of the teams from Kumo and 3 from Iwa got up and left, and a little after so did 5 of the Konoha teams. "Anyone else?" asked Ibiki as he didn't get an answer. "Alright, you all pass," he said, shocking some people. All of a sudden a banner with the name Anko Mitarashi on it was pinned to the wall with a kunai and there was a poof of smoke. A woman wearing a tan trench coat with nothing but fishnet underneath came into the room, giving a lot of the males massive nosebleeds. "Wow, Ibiki. I can't believe that there are still 14 teams left," Anko said, getting a TCH from Ibiki. "Alright, I'll get rid of most of them. Follow me to training ground 44," said Anko as she left in a poof of smoke. All of the genin that had passed went to the training ground. Anko was waiting there for them with a smile on her face. Seeing that most of them had blank looks, she decided to stir them up a bit. She threw a kunai at a random blonde-haired kid and then appeared behind him licking up the blood. This got the expected reaction except from the kid that was her target. Instead she just got a kunai against her leg. She chuckled and reacted by reaching down his pants and grabbing his manhood, which was quite big. "Hey Gaki, if you make it out alive, I'll make you a man," she said, seeing him getting flustered until she sensed a presence behind her. She took out a kunai and put it against one of the kusanin's tongues, which was really long. The girl seemed too generic and standard that it was kind of creepy. "Hey, what is the meaning of this, sneaking up on me?" she said, pushing the kunai harder. "I was just giving you back your kunai," replied the girl as Anko pulled the kunai away. "Just be careful cause I could have killed you. Alright, let's get down to business. Everyone will be given a heaven and an earth scroll and you will have to get the other and bring it to the tower in the center of what we call the Forest of Death," she said, making people pale. "By the way, I need to see Team 7. Anko said as Sasuke, Naruto, Haku, and Sakura walked up. "Since you have 4 people on your team you will get 2 earth scrolls," said Anko as the teams nodded. As everyone got to their gates, Anko signaled to begin and everyone jumped off. Team 7 ran into one of the groups from Kiri who had a heaven scroll and got it quickly. However, while they were looking for their second scroll, Naruto had to go to the bathroom. After 2 minutes Naruto came back. "Naruto, why are you breaking up with me?" Sakura asked with tears. "Because I don't want to hurt you if I happen to die," Naruto said as Sasuke and Haku threw senbon and kunai at him while he dodged. "You're not the real Naruto," said Sasuke. "How'd you know I was a fake?" asked the now normal Kusanin. "Because Naruto and I aren't dating," said Sakura with a disgusted look. Sasuke and Haku kept throwing senbon and kunai, which were all being dodged. Haku then got frustrated as she started doing some hand signs. "Heimten. Hisatsu Heimsum, ice release. Certain kill ice spears," said Haku as she sent out spears made of ice at the Kusanin. There were too many to dodge and the Kusanin got cut in the face to reveal that it was a mask. "Who are you?" Sasuke said as he saw a poof of smoke in the distance. "I guess I'll tell you, my name is Orochimaru," said the Kusanin as he or she disappeared and reappeared next to Haku and knocked he out. "I might have to mark her for her ability." He decided not to as he went on to biting Sasuke and leaving. When Naruto got back they woke up and made their way to the tower while they got into a fight with Odo where Sasuke revealed his curse mark. Also, Naruto apparently fought a clone of Orochimaru and got whopped and got a seal on his stomach. Naruto, however, was able to unseal it, redistributing Toriko's chakra once again. Their senseis at the tower told them that there would be a preliminary if there were too many people for the final and they need to get some rest. "I do not own Naruto, but maybe I should create my own anime." "Alright, my name is Heiichi Echo and I will be your proctor for the preliminaries," said Heiichi Echo. "If anyone wants to forfeit, it will not affect your team," he said as many people forfeited including Zaku and Kabuto. "Alright, now look up on the screen for your matchups," Heiichi said as everyone looked up at the screen. Temari vs Tenten. Gaara vs Rock Lee. Hiba vs Naruto. Sasuke vs Dosu. Sakura vs Ino. Neji vs Hinata. Shikamaru vs Kin. Joji vs Kari. Shino vs Amoy. Haku vs Amui. Tenkuro vs Obo, Iwa. "Now will everyone go up to the balcony except for Temari and Tenten," said Heiichi as everyone except for the contestants walked up to the balcony. "Alright, the first match is between Temari and Tenten," said Heiichi. "Ready, begin," said Heiichi. "Same as in canon. Winner Temari," said Heiichi as the medics took Temari to the infirmary. "Next match is Gaara vs Rock Lee," said Heiichi as the two came down to the ring. "Ready, begin." "Same as in canon. Winner Gaara." "Wow, I'm surprised that Lee lost. He did good though," said Naruto. "I'm going to have to watch out for that Gaara kid," Naruto thought. "Next match is Naruto vs Kiba," said Heiichi. "I'm up," said Naruto as he walked down to the floor with Kiba. "I don't care how good you are, I'm definitely going to beat you," said Kiba. "Alright," said Naruto in a bored state. "Ready, begin," said Heiichi as Kiba ran at him. Naruto got into the Genken stance as Kiba ran at him. Kiba threw many punches and kicks at Naruto who easily dodged and blocked them. Kiba got angry and sent a kick at Naruto's face which he caught. He swept Kiba's left foot off the ground and sent a roundhouse kick that was augmented by chakra at Kiba's side which sent him flying into the wall. Kiba, however, got up looking very angry. "Let's go Akamaru," he said, getting a yip from his dog. "Atsuka, Fang passing Fang," he said as he and Akamaru started spinning and rammed into Naruto who poofed into a thick black smokescreen. "Oh no, it's a Kurumi Bunshin, smoke clone," Kiba said as he couldn't see Naruto and Akamaru couldn't smell him. All of a sudden everyone heard something that made the Hokage smile. Age Bunshin no Jutsu, Shadow Clone Technique, said Naruto as the clone sent a barrage of punches and kicks at Kiba and Akamaru. When the smoke cleared, a battered, bruised and unconscious Akamaru and Kiba were lying on the ground with Naruto standing over them triumphant. Everyone cheered for Naruto's victory. Winner Naruto Uzumaki. Said Hade. Next match is Sasuke vs Dosu. Said Hade as the two genin came down and got into their stances as Sasuke's fangirls cheered. Ready begin. Said Hade as Sasuke was immediately blasted into the wall by a sound wave that came from Dosu's gauntlet. Ha! This Uchiha'll be easy. Said Dosu, but he knew otherwise as the Uchiha had broken both of his arms in the forest. No Sasuke-kun. Said Haku, which made Naruto look at her in a weird way. She noticed this and looked away blushing. Sasuke got up and was looking pissed. He had black flame marks that were coming from his shoulder. This surprised everyone and frightened Dosu. I hope you didn't forget what happened in the forest. Sasuke said in a sadistic tone as he did some hand signs. Pain. Nkakik no Jutsu, fire release. Great fireball technique, he said as he shot a huge fireball out of his mouth which Dosu barely dodged, but not without some burns. When he looked up though, Sasuke was right in front of him with a crazed grin on his face as he performed the lion combo knocking Dosu out. Winner Sasuke Uchiha. Said Hade as everyone cheered. When Sasuke got up to the balcony, Kakashi told Sasuke to come with him. Next match is Sakura vs Ino. Said Hade as they both came down. Ready begin. Same as in canon. This match ends in a draw, you will not be continuing to the next round. Said Hade. Next match is Shikamaru vs Kin. Said Hade as they made their way down to the field. Troublesome. Said Shikamaru. Ready begin. Same as in canon. Winner Shikamaru Nara. Next match is Neji vs Hinata, AN. Sorry I skipped this one. Hade said as Neji and Hinata came down onto the floor. Ready begin. Same as in canon. Winner Neji Hyuga. Those were some really hurtful things to say. Neji, I promise I will get revenge. Naruto thought to himself. Next match is Choji vs Kari. Hade said as the two came down and got into their stances. Ready begin. Not an important battle. Winner Kari. Next match is Shino vs Amoy. Ready begin. Also not an important battle. Winner Shino Abarum. Naruto was amazed at the battle of wits that just took place with Shino winning by forfeit. They seemed evenly matched at first, but Shino ended up winning. Next match is Haku vs Samui. Said Hade as Haku and a busty Kumo genin with blonde hair that went to her shoulders walked down. Ready begin. Immediately, Samui took out her tanto and sent multiple slashes at Haku, who was having a slightly hard time dodging and blocking with her senbon. However, she managed to keep up. Samui sent a diagonal slash with her tanto going down from right to left at Haku, who ducked under it and threw the two senbon at Samui's stomach. Samui was able to bring her tanto back quickly enough to block but still got grazed in the side by one of the senbon. She then sent a sideways slash at Haku's face, who had to do a backflip to dodge. When she landed on her feet she started doing one-handed hand signs. Heimton. Makam Heimsham, ice release. Demonic mirroring ice crystals, she said as mirrors made of ice formed in a dome around Samui surprising everyone. Haku jumped into one of the ice mirrors and projected her image on all of the mirrors. She stared throwing senbon rapidly at Samui who barely blocked any of them and she was knocked unconscious from the pain. Winner Haku Yuki. Said Hade as everyone cheered. That's my girl. Said Zabuza with a smile. Next match is Kankuro vs Obo. Said Hade. Ready begin. Match is not important. Winner's Obo. I have to watch out for that kid too. Naruto thought. Alright, that's it for that matches. The finals will be held in 1 month, so rest up and get some training in. Said Hade, also, please look up on the board for the matchups in the finals. Neji Hyuga vs Sasuke Uchiha. Shino Abarum vs Gaara. Shikamaru Nara vs Tamari. Akuyuki vs Kari. Naruto Uzumaki vs Obo. Alright, you guys can go now. Said Hade as everyone left. As Naruto was about to leave however, he sensed a familiar presence behind him. You need something Jiji? Naruto asked the Hokage. Actually yes. Please meet me in my office immediately. Said the Hokage as he shooshined away. Naruto quickly did the same. Hokage's office. Ah Naruto, so I have a few things to tell you. Said Hiruzen. I wonder what he has to tell you. Said Toriko speaking up after a long bout of silence. Well as you know you have a month before the finals. He said as Naruto nodded. I have someone who will want to teach you. He said as he saw Naruto's face light up with a smile. Really? Who is it? Asked Naruto. Just look for him at the hot springs. Said Hiruzen making Naruto frown. Also, great job in the preliminaries and because of it I have decided to give you something. said Hiruzen, making Naruto even more confused, but he nodded. I was supposed to give you this when you made chunin, but you did such a good job today that I decided to give you one of them, said the Hokage as he handed Naruto a small rectangular box that was marked Tetsuya on the top. Take that to the hospital and take to the head medic. Tell him that I sent you and he should know what to do, said Hiruzen as Naruto shoo-shined away after thanking him. When Naruto was gone, Hiruzen looked up at the ceiling. Your wish has been granted, Tetsuya-san. I don't own Naruto, but I do own Kemonobuchi and Zobo, Ox Baby. The day after the preliminaries, Naruto went to the hot springs just like the Hokage had told him to. He had already went to the medic yesterday after he left to get his new eyes. His eyes were now a slightly darker shade of blue. When he got to the hot springs, he looked around but couldn't see anyone. That is, until he sensed a huge chakra signature coming from up in the trees. He walked over to the trees and heard giggling. What he saw, however, made Toriko go crazy inside of him. It was Jiraiya, one of the 3 legendary Sannin, looking into the girl's bathhouse. He seemed so focused that Naruto decided to mess with him. Hey, why are you peeping into the girl's bathhouse? Said Naruto as Jiraiya fell from the tree startled. He then had to run because there were many angry women chasing after him. When he got back to the bathhouse, Naruto was there waiting for him. Hey Gaki, what was that all about? Said Jiraiya with a grumpy expression. Well, I thought that if you were going to train me then it might go more smoothly on an actual training ground, said Naruto with a matter-of-fact look. Oh, so you're the brat that the Hokage wanted me to train. What's your name, Gaki? Said Jiraiya. Naruto Uzumaki Dadabeo, said Naruto as Jiraiya's mouth hung open. Let's get to work then, Jiraiya said, pulling Naruto along. 1 month later. The finals was tomorrow and everyone was ready. Naruto had trained with Jiraiya and sometime Kakashi because of his new eyes. Sasuke was trained by Kakashi and Haku was trained by Zabuza. Naruto also trained with Toriko in all of his forms up to the 4-tailed state. Naruto was about to go on a date with Ino for making it to the finals. Haku and Sasuke also went on a mini-date of their own. Next day. Everyone was packed into the finals stadium and ready for the finals. Naruto went over to Sasuke to tell him about his new abilities. Hey Sasuke, I have to tell you something, said Naruto, pulling Sasuke aside. Yeah? What is it? Said Sasuke as Naruto closed his eyes. When Naruto opened them again, Sasuke gasped. Naruto's eyes were red with 3 tomo swirling in around lazily in them. When did you get a Sharingan? Sasuke asked in a harsh whisper. It was Tetsuya Ojisan's gift to me, he said as Sasuke knew who Tetsuya Uchiha was. Alright, MT name is Heiichi Echo and I will be the proctor for the finals, said Heiichi. I'd like to finish this quickly so let's begin the matches, said Heiichi. First up is Sasuke Uchiha vs Neji Hyuga. Everyone cheered because this would be a good fight between 2 prodigies. Ready, begin, said Heiichi as the 2 genin ran at each other. Sasuke started off with a kick at Neji's stomach which he easily blocked. Sasuke then went into a barrage of punches and kicks which were being blocked and dodged by the Hyuga. Neji started getting bored of defending and went on the offensive. He sent a barrage of gentle fist strikes at Sasuke who was barely dodging them. Neji then turned on his Byakugan and went faster. This time hitting Sasuke who was knocked to the ground. You can't win, Sasuke Uchiha. It is fate that I will win because fate determines everything, said Neji as Sasuke decided to activate his eyes that now had 3 tomo like Naruto's. He then went to kick Neji in the face which was ducked under. He then threw a kunai that he had in his hand which Neji caught and threw away while Sasuke was doing hand signs. Heian. Nkakik no Jutsu, fire release. Great fireball technique, said Sasuke as he shot a fireball out of his mouth at near point blank range. All Sasuke saw was Neji twisting as the fireball hit him and then exploded. Heian, rotation, everyone heard Neji say as the fireball exploded. When the dust settled. Neji was standing there unscathed as a dome of chakra disappeared from around him. How is he able to do that? That is a move reserved for only the main branch, said a stunned Heihachi Hyuga who decided to come watch the fight. Neji ran at Sasuke and started hitting him. 2 palms, he said, hitting Sasuke twice. 4 palms, he said, hitting Sasuke 2 more times. 8 palms, he said, hitting Sasuke 4 times. 16 palms, he said, hitting Sasuke 8 times. 32 palms, he said, hitting Sasuke 16 times. 64 palms. Neji finished as he stepped forward and delivered the final 32 blows. Sasuke was on the ground and found that he couldn't move. I blocked all 64 of your chakra points. There is no point. Proctor, call the match, said Neji. When Heiichi was interrupted by the sound of laughing. He looked down to see Sasuke laughing as black flame marks spread across his body. This could be dangerous, said the Kazekage in the cage both who was sitting next to the Hokage. I know, said the Hokage. Under his mask as the Kazekage, however, Orochimaru was smiling at what was happening. The laughing continued until it turned into cackling as Sasuke stood up with flames covering a lot of his body. "But how? I blocked your points. You shouldn't even be able to move," said Neji as he activated his eyes to see a potent purple chakra that was spreading throughout Sasuke's system, opening up his chakra points. Sasuke didn't say anything as he ran up a stadium wall and crouched down. His hands started getting covered in lightning and was chirping with the sound of birds. Neji got into a ready stance as Sasuke ran down the wall at him. "No. Sasuke," said Kakashi. "Todori," said Sasuke. "Peyton, rotation," said Neji as he started spinning. The lightning-covered hand collided with the chakra dome in a small explosion. When the dust cleared, everyone could see the two jutsus were still going on and neither one had stopped. All of a sudden, Sasuke's hand started to go through the defenses. When it finally got through with a lot of force from Sasuke, the jutsu faded, leaving Sasuke's hand in a fist that punched Neji in the face. Naruto thought that was a satisfying payback, even though he had pranked Neji during the month almost non-stop. Neji hit the ground, but when he tried to get up he couldn't. "I can't move," said Neji as he just gave up. "Hate my ass," said Sasuke. "Winner Sasuke Uchiha," said Hade as the crowd went wild. "I can't believe it. To penetrate the Kaiten is unthinkable," said Hiashi. "That boy is very strong," said Orochimaru, posed as the Kazekage as he smiled under his mask. "Indeed. However, you haven't seen anything yet," said the Hokage, which confused Orochimaru. "If this really is Orochimaru, I will definitely find out when Naruto battles," thought Hiruzen. "Next battle is Shino Abarum vs Gaara," said Hade. "Proctor, I forfeit," said Shino as everyone in the stadium booed him as he left the stadium. "That is saddening, I really wanted to see how my son would do in an actual fight," said Orochimaru. "Alright, well the next match will be Shikamaru Nara vs Temari," said Hade as the two walked down. "Ready, begin." Same as in canon. Everyone booed Shikamaru because he forfeited when it looked like he was going to win. "Winner Temari," said Hade with a sweat drop. "Troublesome," said Shikamaru. "Alright, next match is Hakuyuki vs Kari," said Hade as the two girls got into their stances. "Ready, begin," said Hade as the two girls started up. Kari made the first move as she immediately pulled out her sword and charged at Haku. Haku ducked under the first strike and blocked the second one with some senbon. She had to jump backwards from the third strike and she threw the 3 senbon which were in her hands as she did some hand signs. Kari dodged the senbon as Haku finished the hand signs. "Ton. Tatapa, wind release." "Great breakthrough," Haku said as she shot out a blast of wind at Kari, who was knocked into the stadium wall. "Yo, Kari, you're doing alright, I know it is you who will win this fight, yo," said the Jonin sensei from Kumagakure as a few people sweat dropped at this. Kari got up from where she was only to see Haku going through another set of hand signs. "Suiton. Shuriken no Jutsu, water release. Water dragon bullet technique," said Haku as a giant water dragon came from the lake in the corner of the stadium. Kari barely dodged and the impact stunned her a bit. Haku took the time and ran at her in a burst of speed. When Haku got to Kari, she kicked her in the face and sent her flying into the wall yet again. Kari got up and had little time to dodge the senbon that were sent flying at her by Haku. She was able to regain her composure as she saw Haku doing one-handed hand signs. "Oh no you don't," said Kari as she dashed at Haku just in time to cut her off from using an ice jutsu. Haku dodged all of Kari's slashes and was moving backwards towards the lake. Kari didn't notice this and just kept slashing. She did a feint with her sword which Haku ducked from and right into an uppercut by Kari, which sent her flying into the air. "Got you," she said as Haku landed back on the ground. Haku got up and stood in still where she was until she started doing hand signs. Kari noticed this and ran at Haku with a downward slash. Haku flipped to the side as she finished with her hand signs. "Suiton. Shuriken no Jutsu, water release. Water dragon bullet technique," said Haku as a huge water dragon came at Kari and hit her point-blank range. The force of the impact knocked Kari all of the way to the other side of the stadium and into the wall, kicking up some dust as she hit the ground. When the dust cleared, Kari was lying on the ground unconscious. "Winner Hakuyuki," said Hade as the crowd cheered. "Good job Haku-chan," Sasuke said, getting a blush from Haku. "Good job Haku," said Zabuza, who received a nod from Haku. "Good job Haku-chan," said Naruto with a smile which was returned by Haku. "Good job Haku," Kakashi said as Haku nodded. "Good job Haku-chan," said Sakura as Haku smiled at her. "Alright, next match is Naruto Uzumaki vs Obo," said Hade as the two boys came down to the stadium. Both boys got into their ready stances. "Ready, begin." The Iwa Genin called Zobo did a single hand sign. Ha no Sekai no Jutsu, world of power technique, called the genin as his muscles bulged and he grew a few inches. He must be from the Gaia clan. Be careful Naruto-kun. Thought Sarutobi as the Iwa genin charged. The boy moved at an insane speed and Naruto barely had time to react, he only had enough time to put chakra to his stomach to lessen the pain of the blow. That didn't help much as the wind was knocked out of Naruto and he was sent flying back. Naruto went to flip into, but that never happened because Zobo appeared behind him and kicked him to the other side of the stadium. Naruto collided with the wall with an amazing force. When the dust settled, Naruto was lying on the ground with his face down. Guess he wasn't as good as everyone led me to believe. Zobo said with a smile until it suddenly stopped when he heard a voice. "Ha, you thinks I'll go down that easily?" said Naruto standing in a tree. Zobo looked where he saw Naruto lying on the ground, only to see the body go up in a poof of white smoke, symbolizing a cage buncheon. "I simply used a henge with my clone that I made before your second attack. However, I am sorry that I haven't been going too seriously and I know that I need to step it up a notch," said Naruto as he closed his eyes. When he opened them again, everyone save Kakashi, Hiruzen and Sasuke gasped. Naruto's eyes had turned red and had 3 tomo spinning around lazily in them. Murmurs were heard throughout the stadium wondering how Naruto had gotten the Sharingan. "Naruto-kun seems to be turning into a threat, I'm going to have to let Gaara kill him," thought Orochimaru. "Why hasn't Orochimaru put up the signal yet? He must really want you dead Naruto-kun," thought Kabuto. "It doesn't matter what your eyes may look like because I'm still going to beat you," said Zobo as he vanished in a blur. Naruto merely jumped to the side as something ran into the stadium wall with a tremendous amount of force. Naruto was then seen dodging blurs that must have been punches and kicks from Zobo. Getting annoyed, Zobo finally jumped back and did hand signs. "Finally some ninjutsu," said Naruto as he did some hand signs. "Oten. Desekaric, Earth release. Earth and Stone Dragon," said Zobo as a huge dragon made of mud came out of the ground. "Raiten. Reikik, Lightning release. Lightning ball," Naruto said as he finished his hand signs and put chakra into his hands. He gathered it into a huge ball made of lightning which he threw at the dragon. The 2 jutsus collided and there was static electricity crackling throughout the air. After the dust settled Naruto went into doing hand signs. He performed a no-handed henge with one of the pebbles that was created by the last 2 jutsu that was in front of Zobo. He then finished his hand signs and called out the attack. "Raiten. Rage Kashiri no Jutsu, Lightning release. Lightning beast running technique," he said as he covered his hand in lightning which turned into a dog and ran right at Zobo hitting him at point-blank range. Zobo was severely electrocuted and was knocked unconscious. "Winner Naruto Uzumaki," Hayate said as the crowd roared for Naruto and his skillful victory. Under his mask as the Kazekage, Orochimaru was furious. However, on the outside, he was smiling at the victory of the blonde-haired genin. "Wow, that boy is very impressive," said the Kazekage. "Oh, you haven't seen anything yet," said the Hokage surprising Orochimaru. "Alright, looks like this year we have 5 semi-finalists," said Hayate before Temari raised her hand. "Proctor, I forfeit," said Temari. "Okay, that makes it easier. Here are the next matches," said Hayate pointing up to the board. Sasuke Uchiha vs Hakuyuki. Naruto Uzumaki vs Gaara. "Wow, I can't believe 3 people from your team made it to the semi-finals Kakashi. You should be proud," said Guy. "I am," said Kakashi in a bored tone. "Alright, the first match is between Hakuyuki and Sasuke Uchiha," said Hayate as they both made their way down. "I won't go easy on you Sasuke-kun," said Haku. "I didn't expect you to Haku-chan," said Sasuke as he activated his eyes. "Ready begin." "I do not own Naruto and I don't really have anything to say about it right now." "Ready begin," said Hayate as Sasuke and Haku ran at each other. Haku threw 3 senbon at Sasuke who dodged to the right. He then threw a kunai at Haku who also dodged it. They then engaged in a taijutsu fight. Haku tried to kick Sasuke, but Sasuke spun around it sending a punch at Haku's face. Haku ducked under the punch. Haku then took it a senbon and tried to hit Sasuke in a pressure point. However, Sasuke jumped back and did some hand signs. "Pain. Enden, fire release. Flame bullet," said Sasuke as he shot out small blasts of fire that went towards Haku as she did some hand signs. "Suiten. Sugaden, water release. Water fang bullet," said Haku as drill-shaped water bullets came out of the small lake and collided with the fire bullets creating steam. When it cleared, Sasuke was gone confusing Haku until she heard a jutsu name. "Raiten. Jibashi, lightning release. Electromagnetic murder," Sasuke said as he sent an electrical current through the ground towards Haku. Haku had to jump into the air to dodge, but was surprised when Sasuke appeared in front of her with his fist reared back. His fist connected into Haku's face and sent her hurtling to the ground. When she got up from the ground, she only looked slightly affected. She then started doing one-handed hand signs. Haku used her chakra to create snow around her and then used her technique. Haimton. Smirk Mksetsu, ice release. Twin dragon blizzard, she said as she created two dragons out of the snow that turned black. The two dragons then merged into one giant dragon and rammed the ground where Sasuke stood only a second ago. However, even though Sasuke jumped back, the giant dragon turned into a tornado of snow that caught Sasuke, throwing him into the wall. However, when he hit the wall he poofed into a log signaling a hinge. When Haku turned around, she looked directly into Sasuke's Sharingan which paralyzed her with a Genjutsu. Sasuke then punched her in the stomach knocking her out. Winner Sasuke Uchiha. Hate said as everyone cheered. Alright, next up is Gaara vs Naruto Uzumaki. Said Hade as the two boys came down. The Kazuki was smiling. This should prove to be a great battle. He said, but he was thinking something else. Naruto will finally die. He has become a nuisance now that he has the Sharingan. He thought until the Hokage spoke. Yes, you're right, but Naruto has a few more surprises for us. Hiruzen said, surprising the Kazuki. Mother will have your blood. Said Gaara back on the battlefield. Father is going to spank you. Naruto said with a crazed look until he burst out laughing. Okay then. Ready, begin. Said Hade as Naruto immediately jumped back. Naruto threw some kunai and shuriken which were all blocked by Gaara's sand. Naruto then appeared right in front of Gaara and sent a punch at his face, but the sand blocked again and this time it encased Naruto's hand. Tsubaku kick, sand binding coffin, Gaara said as sand encased all of Naruto's body. Tsubaku SMSM, sand waterfall funeral, Gaara said as the sand crushed Naruto. Everyone gasped until they saw a puff of white smoke. The real Naruto came from the trees with a smile on his face. Let's test this out. Said Naruto as he threw a kunai at Gaara. The one thought that was on everyone's mind was what is Naruto thinking. However, that thought was silenced when Naruto did a hand sign. The kunai kept going past the sand that was supposed to defend Gaara but didn't and hit him in the side of the face. Gaara reached up and touched his cheek and looked at the warm red liquid that was his blood. My blood? Said Gaara in disbelief. It was that seal that my clone put on your sand when he punched it. Said Naruto as Gaara started laughing maniacally. Naruto wasted no time and disappeared in a blur. He reappeared in front of Gaara and placed a palm on his chest and palmed him knocking him over. When he landed on the ground, everyone could see that there was a seal on his chest. Gaara struggled but he couldn't get up. Gaara got angry and started to change. Ahahaha. Gaara laughed as half of his body turned into that of a tankui made out of sand. He then got up much to Naruto's surprise and charged at him. He punched Naruto in the chest and sent him flying into the wall and through it. Hayate was about to call the match when he saw Naruto climb back through the hole looking angry. Maybe I should call this match off. He said until he saw red chakra coming from Naruto. Let's do this. Said Naruto as the chakra surrounded him. He grew 4 tails and went on all 4s. Let's go sand boy. Naruto said in a now demonic voice that scared everyone. He then proceeded to run at Gaara and punch him in the face with an earth-shattering punch that sent him through the wall. Naruto then appeared on the other side of the wall next to the still flying Gaara and threw him in the air by his arm. He went up very high as Naruto appeared next to him again. He then sent an axe kick that connected with Gaara sending him back down into the stadium. When the dust cleared, there was a huge crater with Gaara in the middle lying on the ground. Hayate was about to call the match again until he saw sand start swirling around Gaara. The sand then turned into a giant tankui with Gaara sticking out of its head. It's me. Said Shukaku with a giant grin on his face. Naruto landed in the stadium and started to do hand signs. He then placed his hands on the ground. Mokuton Hijutsu. Jukai Kantan, wood release secret technique. Nativity of a world of trees, said Naruto as giant roots appeared from the ground and wrapped around Shukaku bringing him to his knees. This surprised the Kazuki. What? The boy has the Sharingan and wood release. I really wish I had marked him instead. I'll just have to kill him myself soon. Thought the Kazuki. How do you know the wood release boy? Said Shukaku as Naruto didn't answer and instead went behind him. Mokuton. Daijirin no Jutsu, wood release. Great forest technique, said Naruto as his arm turned into a giant hand which he then proceeded to spank Shukaku with. He then disappeared in a blur and reappeared in front of Gaara with the Sharingan blazing. He then placed Gaara under a Genjutsu. Gaara then reverted back to himself and woke up. Why did you insist on fighting me even after I turned into Shukaku? Gaara asked Naruto. Because I did it to protect everyone that is close to me. Said Naruto as Gaara fell unconscious. Winner Naruto Uzumaki. Said Hade as everyone cheered. That's when the feathers started to fall. Hokage's box. Orochimaru had finally struck and he and the Hokage were fighting on top of the Hokage box with a purple barrier around it. All around the Hokage box everyone was fighting. But Naruto. Naruto was fighting off many of the shinobi that attacked after the white feathers had put the civilians and weaker ninja to sleep. He had his Sharingan blazing and was mowing down the crowd of shinobi. He had moved away from the stadium but could see a purple barrier around the Hokage box. Naruto started jumping towards the Hokage box, mowing down anyone who got in his way. When he got to the Hokage box he saw the one thing he didn't want to. Orochimaru had stabbed the Hokage. Hiruzen looked over at Naruto directly in the eye and mouthed something the Naruto thought was protect everyone. He then fell down and was dead as the barrier went down. Naruto roared as he Sharingan morphed. The pupils grew out into what looked like a shuriken, with each blade dipping down and coming back up to then curve back down. The tomo that were in between each blade then morphed into small straight lines. Orochimaru saw this and started to run away telling his Odo Shinobu to guard him. That proved to be inadequate as Naruto's eyes started to bleed. Amaterasu, heavenly illumination, Naruto yelled as black flames spread out across the whole lineup of shinobi burning them to death. However, when Naruto put the flames out, Orochimaru was gone. Naruto deactivated his eyes and ran over to Hiruzen and started crying. He would have his revenge. But Orochimaru. That boy now has the Manjikum Sharingan, the boy is even more of a threat. With the Sharingan and Senju blood, that can only mean one thing. Orochimaru shivered at the monster he had created. I do not own Naruto. I have ran out of ideas for the disclaimer and ask that people give me some in their reviews. I will give credit of course. Tsunade Senju was standing at her desk and Naruto was before her. She had come back from living outside of the village to become the Goddamn Hokage after Naruto persuaded her. She was very surprised at his stubbornness and determination. Naruto, I have seen your fights during the chunin exams and I would like to congratulate you on your wins. Said Tsunade as Naruto nodded. Now let's get down to business. Said Tsunade, Shizune, please bring them in. Shizune stepped into the room with 4 of the genin that participated in the chunin exams. Once everyone was settled, Tsunade began. All of you that are in this office have done an amazing job at the chunin exams. You have all been shown to have chunin level skills, knowledge and tactics. Said Tsunade as the children smiled. I am proud to promote you all to chunin. Said Tsunade as the children cheered. All of you except for Naruto are dismissed. Said Tsunade as the 4 other now chunin left and Naruto stayed behind. When they left, Tsunade turned to Naruto. Naruto, I know that you were promised some things when you became chunin. Said Tsunade as Naruto nodded. Yeah, Jiji promised me. Said Naruto as his face saddened. I think that he would be very proud. Said Tsunade with a soft smile as she handed Naruto a scroll and some letters. Also, I am sending you away on an S-rank mission with Jiraiya for 2-3 years. Said Tsunade as Naruto's eyes widened. How will the village survive if I'm gone? Asked a surprised Naruto. Tsunade just chuckled. I think we have plenty of strong ninja besides you. Said Tsunade. Alright, I'm trusting you hag. Said Naruto which caused a tick mark to grow on Tsunade's head. However, she rubbed her temples and the tick mark subsided. Your mission is to go to all of the 5 great elemental nations and some other places that Jiraiya might take you to train. You will also help Jiraiya in any way to build relationships with the other nations. The mission begins in 3 days so go home and get prepared. Said Tsunade as Naruto nodded. He turned to leave, but Tsunade's voice stopped him. Oh yeah and Naruto said swanned. Naruto turned around and was met with a crazy strong fist to the face which sent him all of the way to the village gates. However, while he was flying, he could still hear Tsunade's voice. Don't ever call me hag again. Naruto landed with a huge crash that made a crater in the ground. He was scarcely aware of the eternal gatekeepers Izumo and Katetsu cowering at their posts. However, he was aware of another chakra signature from behind him. He recovered and got up very quickly in a battle stance, only to see Sasuke standing there looking bored at him. Naruto felt stupid that he didn't recognize the chakra signature earlier. Why are you here? I thought you were on a date with Haku. Said Naruto. I told her to wait for a second because I knew you would end up here dope. Said Sasuke getting a growl from Naruto. What do you want then? Said Naruto obviously irritated. I was sent on a mission by Tsunade. Said Sasuke making Naruto's eyes widen, she sent me on an S-rank mission to join Orochimaru and gain his trust. Why would she do that? Said Naruto. She thinks that if I gain enough power I would be able to defeat him. Said Sasuke, I need your help to convince him though. What do you need my help with? Asked Naruto who was still confused. I've already contacted a group called the Sound 4 who are part of Orochimaru's guard. They are coming tomorrow to pick me up and I need you to try to come get me. I'll be waiting at the Valley of the End for you. Said Sasuke as he disappeared in a swirl of leaves. After he left Naruto made his way home in deep thought. At Naruto's house. Naruto was examining the scroll that the Tsunade gave to him. He had opened it earlier after he read the letter from his parents who he found out were the Yondaime Hokage and Kushina Uzumaki. He was really surprised at first because they were both legends. However, after some consideration, it did make sense. He had then opened the scroll to find his father's special three-pronged kunai. He then opened the letter from Tetsuya. Dear Naruto-kun. If you are reading this then sadly I have passed on. It has been great fun with you. I almost adopted you even. However, I have now passed on and I will no longer be there physically for you. However, I promised the Hokage that no matter what, I would always protect you. My sister shared the same resolve as I did. This is why I have given you our eyes to have. We will be there in spirit and will protect you and the ones that are close to you. We will always love you Naruto-kun. Love. Tetsuya Chiha. Naruto put away the letters and the boxes in a drawer and put a seal on it. He was standing reminiscing until Toriko's voice interrupted his thoughts. Naruto, there's someone at the door. Said Toriko, and sure enough there was a knock on the door. Naruto went to the door but stopped before he could open it. He sensed two huge chakra signatures that he didn't recognize. The two figures also seemed to be trying to conceal their signatures. Naruto opened the door cautiously. When the door was opened fully, Naruto got a good look at the two people. One was a short man who was only a little taller than him. The man had raven hair and onyx eyes. The other man was a lot taller and weirdly enough had blue skin and gills. He also had very sharp teeth that were set in a smile. Both of the people had on dark cloaks with red clouds on them. Hello, Naruto-kun. Said the shorter man who got a scowl from Naruto. Itachi Uchiha. Said Naruto with a growl, let's take this outside. The two obliged and went outside. However, they didn't notice when Naruto made a wood clone and sent it underground to go get Jiraiya. The three figures stood in the middle of the street in the stances. Naruto took out a kunai and so did Itachi. The other man took out a giant sword that was wrapped in bandages. You must be Kisame from Kiri. Said Naruto as the now identified Kisame smirked. I'm glad my name precedes me. Yours do too though Naruto. You're already in the bingo book. Said Kisame. I'll have to check that out, but enough chat, let's go. Said Naruto. Okay. Said Kisame as he ran at Naruto. Kisame unwrapped his sword which had weird look spike thingies that wiggled on it. He swung the sword at Naruto who blocked with his kunai. However, the spikes wiggled quicker and cut Naruto's arm. The Samehada doesn't cut, but it will shred you to pieces. Said Kisame with a sadistic grin as Naruto jumped away. When Naruto was far enough away he felt the effects of the sword and saw his chakra being absorbed. So your sword absorbs chakra? Said Naruto. Very observant. Said Kisame with a smile. I'm going to have to be more careful. Thought Naruto as he went to attack Kisame now that his hand was healed with Toriko's help. The Kyuubi is very helpful to you. Said Itachi. Naruto ignored him and ran at Kisame. Kisame swung his sword at Naruto aiming for his head, but Naruto flipped over the strike and smacked Kisame on the back with the palm of his hand. A sealing array appeared on his back and a portal of darkness appeared from the seal. Kisame was sucked in all the while screaming. That's my Mugen no Yami Fuin, Infinite Darkness seal. It's an original. Said Naruto as he ran at Itachi. As Naruto was about to get to Itachi, he had to do a backflip to dodge the Samehada that would have killed him. He turned to see Kisame smiling at him. Come on, you thought you were fighting the real thing. That was just a water clone. Said Kisame. Don't kill him. Said Itachi who got a nod from Kisame. Fine, I guess I'll have to go harder. Said Naruto, but he was thinking differently. This could be bad. I hope Jiraiya-sensei shows up soon. As if by cue, Sasuke Uchiha showed up but Naruto wasn't looking for him. He saw Itachi and his mouth hung open. Itachi? Sasuke got angry all of a sudden, why? Sasuke, you're still just a child so go home. I'm not here for you anyway. Said Itachi with an emotionless face. Well then I'll make you notice me. Said Sasuke as he did some hand signs. Heian. Nkakuk no Jutsu, fire release. Great fireball technique, said Sasuke as he shot out a large fireball at Itachi. The fireball exploded, but when the dust cleared Itachi was gone. Naruto sensed his presence too late as Itachi reappeared next to Sasuke and kicked him into one of the buildings. Naruto ran to help him, but he was also kicked into the same building by Kisame. When he got into the narrow hallway he saw Itachi pinning Sasuke to the wall by the throat. Tsukiyomi, Moon Reader, said Itachi after activating his eyes. All of a sudden Sasuke started screaming and clutching his head. Naruto tried to help him, but Kisame blocked his way. You're my opponent. Said Kisame with a smirk. Fine, then let's go. Said Naruto as he ran through hand signs rapidly. On. K's no Yaiba, wind release. Blade of wind, said Naruto as he threw a sickle made of wind at Kisame, who blocked it with the Samehada. Kisame ran at Naruto and started swinging his sword in a frenzy. Naruto was barely dodging and decided to even the playing field. Naruto's eyes glowed red and had 3 tomo in them. Naruto started dodging the strikes more fluidly and Kisame was having a hard time. Naruto ducked under a strike and slashed at Kisame causing red fluid to leak. I'm impressed. You actually managed to cut me. Nice work. Said Kisame as he fully unwrapped the Samehada. Now, prepare to be shredded. Said Kisame as he swung at Naruto. However, he had to dodge an incoming shuriken thrown by none other than Jiraiya. Guchius. Gamaguchi Shibari, summoning. Toadmouth bind, said Jiraiya as he slammed his hands on the ground. All of a sudden, the hallway turned into a large fleshy place that Naruto didn't understand. This is the esophagus of a great fire-breathing toad. You cannot escape. Said Jiraiya explaining for Naruto to understand. Kisame, we're leaving. If we battled Jiraiya-sama now it would only end in a draw. Said Itachi causing Kisame to raise an eyebrow, but he complied. Itachi activated his eyes and all of a sudden there was black fire on one of the walls that burned a hole through it leading back out to the street. The two Akatsuki members jumped through the hole and disappeared. How did he do that? Asked Jiraiya to himself. It's simple. He used Amaterasu which creates an unquenchable black flame that is stronger than normal fire. Said Naruto causing Jiraiya's mouth to drop. What? I have the Manjikam remember. Said Naruto. Sasuke moaned causing the two to look over at him. He was lying on the ground while clutching his head. I'll take him to the hospital. Said Jiraiya as he grabbed Sasuke and disappeared in a shushin. Naruto went back to his home for some well-needed rest. Next morning. Naruto woke up to knocking on his door. He went to the door and sensed Sakura on the other side. He opened the door to see a frantic-looking Sakura. What's wrong? Asked Naruto confused. Sasuke's gone. Said Sakura making Naruto's eyes widen in fake surprise. What? Said Naruto. Please go after him. Said Sakura. Okay. Said Naruto as he left his house after getting dressed. Naruto went and got Kiba, Choji, Shikamaru, Neji, and Haku to fight the Sound Four. They met at the gates to go get Sasuke. Let's go. Said Naruto as the children left. The team had moved through the forest and were stopped by many on their way to find Sasuke. Choji went up against Germ. Neji went against Kidmaru. Shikamaru went against Aiya and Kiba went against Seiken and Yukin. Haku also got stopped by a man named Kamimuro, but Gaara and Rock Lee showed up to help. Naruto is currently about to enter the Valley of End. Naruto entered the valley and saw Sasuke standing on top of the huge statue of Madara Uchiha. Naruto jumped up on the other statue of Hashirama Senju, his great-grandfather, and faced Sasuke. So you've finally come. I almost thought you had died. Said Sasuke with a huge grin. Sasuke, don't do this. Said Naruto. Why would you care? Asked Sasuke while the smirk never left his face. Because I'm your friend. Said Naruto, which caused Sasuke to get very angry. We were never friends. You're just a loser. Sasuke said. Naruto knew he was acting, but for some reason it still hurt. Well, I'm here to bring you back. Said Naruto getting into a stance while Sasuke did hand signs. Pain. Nkakik no Jutsu, fire release. Great fireball technique, said Sasuke as he shot out a huge fireball from his mouth. Naruto started doing hand signs as well. Pain. Nkakik no Jutsu, fire release. Great fireball technique, Naruto said shooting out a fireball that was the same size. Both fireballs collided in a huge explosion. When the dust settled, Naruto and Sasuke were facing each other on the water at the bottom of the waterfall. Pain. Gmirka no Jutsu, fire release. Great dragon fire technique, said Sasuke as he shot out a giant flaming ball in the shape of a dragon's head. Naruto quickly did hand signs to counter. Suiton. Shuriken no Jutsu, water release. Water dragon bullet technique, said Naruto as an equally large dragon made of water collided with the fire dragon. The result was a large wave of steam making it hard for Naruto to see. Naruto activated his Sharingan and saw that Sasuke was running at him with his own Sharingan ablaze. Naruto got into his Genken stance and engaged Sasuke. Sasuke tried to punch Naruto in the face, but Naruto ducked under. He then sent a fist toward Sasuke's gut which was caught. Sasuke sent a kick to Naruto's stomach which was also caught. Sasuke then brought his free elbow down on Naruto's head, but Naruto dodged and swept Sasuke's free leg from the ground. While Sasuke was in the air, Naruto punched him in the stomach with a chakra-powered punch which sent Sasuke flying into the side of the canyon. Sasuke came out of the canyon looking very angry, but Naruto continued doing hand signs. Mokuton. Makurik no Jutsu, wood release. Wood dragon technique, said Naruto as he slammed his palm against the water. The ground rumbled a bit, then, all of a sudden, a giant dragon made out of wood came from out of the water. The dragon was up to the middle of both of the statue's shins and was scaring the shit out of Sasuke at the moment. However, Sasuke had his own surprise for Naruto. Go and suck all of Sasuke's chakra until he is unconscious. Said Naruto as the beast set into motion. It ran right into motion and a wave of water rose blocking Naruto's view. When the water settled, Naruto was surprised to see a giant purple bony head holding Ontario, the dragon's head holding it back. The hand was extended from a set of purple ribs and Sasuke's Sharingan was different. "When did you get the Mangekyou Sharingan?" asked Naruto in confusion. "When Itachi put me under Tsukiyomi. He showed me what he did to our clan on that day," said Sasuke. "Now let's see what this thing can do," Sasuke said with a smirk. Sasuke's curse mark started to come out with black flame markings going across his skin. As it did, giant dark purple flame markings started to appear on the ribs and arm. At the same time, what looked like muscles and tissue started to form around the arms and ribs. Then a full body appeared in dark purple complete with everything including legs. The giant figure picked up the dragon and, with the other hand, chopped off the dragon's head. "Man, my Susanoo can't do that," said Naruto with a frown. "Fine, I guess I'll just have to use a different technique," said Naruto. Red chakra started to surround Naruto's body as his features became more feral. The chakra then grew into one tail and Naruto did some hand signs. "Mokuton. Chmjm Kabutsu, would release. Top transformed Buddha," said Naruto as he slammed his hand on the water. Up from the water arose a giant wooden statue of Buddha that was the same size as Sasuke's now full Susanoo and half the size of the statues of Konoha's founders. The wooden statue had exactly 1,000 hands. "I'm going to bring you back, Sasuke. No matter what," said Naruto as he prepared for a large battle. "I don't think so," said Sasuke as he grew huge wing-like hands out of his back. His Susanoo mirrored his transformation and also grew 2 wing-like appendages from its back. "Fine. If it must come to this," said Naruto. "Let's stop talking and just go," said Sasuke as his sword ignited with black flames. Both giant figure ran at each other and clashed. Sasuke's Susanoo had to block 50 hands with his shield and about 200 more with its extra appendages. It then swung its flaming sword at Wadden statue as Naruto was doing hand signs. "Mokuton. Jukai Hiki, would release. World of Trees wall," said Naruto as he slammed the palm of his hand onto the statue's head. However, the water in front of him erupted and a wall of interlocking trees sprouted from the water and intercepted Sasuke's sword. The flaming sword still went through the wall of trees and nearly hit Naruto. "Naruto, I just wanted to know that you can safely use 6 tails of my power, but be careful because it is going to get harder to control from now on," said Toriko getting a nod from Naruto. Sasuke had finished cutting through the wall of trees and Naruto went on the offensive immediately. He had the statue feint with his 500 left hands and then hit the Susanoo in its side with its 500 left hands in around the same area. This attack sent the giant figure flying into the wall, creating a giant dent in it. When Sasuke got out of the hole he ran at the statue with Naruto on its head but was knocked out of his Susanoo by a 6-tailed Naruto with bones coming out of him. Sasuke landed in the water and it took him a while to get back to the surface. When he did he had a surprised look on his face. "How?" he asked as the 6-tailed Naruto spoke. "The one on top of the statue was a clone," said Naruto with a smirk. "You will not beat me," said Sasuke as his hand began to be covered in black lightning. "You'd be surprised," said Naruto as he formed a spiraling ball of chakra that had a red tinge to it. They ran at each other and met in the middle of the waterfall as their jutsus clashed. Chidori. Rasengan. There was a huge explosion that racked the waterfall where the jutsus collided. When the dust settled, one was looking at the other lying on the ground in front of him. "I'm sorry, Sasuke," said Naruto as he reached down for Sasuke to pick him up. However, he was stopped by a fireball that exploded near him and a maniacal laugh. "Kukikik. I knew that the sound 4 wouldn't succeed, so I went to check on Sasuke myself," said Orochimaru as he picked up Sasuke. "No," said Naruto as he ran after Orochimaru. However, Orochimaru disappeared in a shushin before Naruto could get to him. When Orochimaru had gone, Naruto stood where he was for a second and then smiled a sad smile. "Be careful, Sasuke," whispered Naruto to no one. And that's a wrap. That is by far my longest chapter, so I hope you guys like the effort I put into it because I'm normally very lazy. Also, for those of you that haven't, please read Chance for a Prophecy by Dorsey. It is my favorite fanfic even though I don't normally like time travel fics. Also, my story is somewhat outdated and the reason why is a spoiler if you haven't read the latest chapters of the manga. This X part is a spoiler for those people, so don't read if you don't want to know yet. I do not own Naruto, but if I did that means the apple tastes good. Naruto was exhausted after the fierce battle he had with Sasuke. Kakashi had found him and helped him get to the hospital to treat his wounds. The rest of the team that helped him get to Sasuke was also worse for wear and had to go to the hospital. Naruto kept going over the battle in his head, but something still wasn't sitting right with him. How was Sasuke able to use full Susanoo when he got his Mangekyou after me? Even I haven't achieved it yet, pondered Naruto. However, the reason escaped him at the moment and he decided to let it go as Jiraiya walked into the room. "Hey Gaki, I see you're finally awake after went unconscious when you arrived," said Jiraiya. Yeah, I guess I was pretty tired, responded Naruto. Alright then. The mission has been pushed back until tomorrow. Get some rest and get ready. Pack everything you will need. Also, say goodbye to anyone so you won't have to regret it later, said Jiraiya as he left. As soon as Jiraiya left, Naruto got out of the infirmary bed and went to look for one of his closest friends besides Sasuke. He was able to sneak into the nurse's office and find the room number. He then walked down the hall and found room number 126 and knocked on the door lightly. Come in. Came a muffled voice from behind the door. Naruto walked in and saw Haku laying on a bed with bandages all over her face. How are you? Asked Naruto as he sat down in a chair next to Haku's bed. I've been better, but I think I'll be okay, said Haku in a weak voice. That's good. This is hard to tell you, but I'm leaving tomorrow, said Naruto, which caused Haku's eyes to widen. What? Ow, said Haku as she grabbed her side. Naruto jumped up from his seat and was at her side, but she waved him away. I'm fine, just a little excited is all, she said. Why are you leaving? It had better be a good reason too, because I have already lost Sasuke to an important mission, said Haku, which caused Naruto to smile sheepishly. Well, my mission is to go to the other 4 great nations and spread peace while also training there, said Naruto as he relaxed upon seeing Haku calm down. Alright, but come back soon and make sure that Sasuke is with you, said Haku with a hopeful smile on her face. Will do, you also get stronger, said Naruto with a smile as he left. He had an important date to make. He arrived at Ikaraku Ramen and found Ino waiting for him at a somewhat secluded table. He went over and sat down. Hey Ino. You ready to eat? Asked Naruto. Sure, said Ino with a smile. They both ordered their food and ate their meals with little conversation in between. When they were finished, Naruto decided to speak. He opened his mouth to speak, but Ino stopped him. You're going to break up with me, aren't you? Ino said more than asked. I'm sorry, but I have a mission for a few years and I just can't do a long-distance relationship, said Naruto. I understand, said Ino as she got up and left Naruto sitting there to think about different things. After a while of sitting, Naruto decided to get up and go home. He got home and laid down in his bed and stared at the ceiling thinking about the awaiting adventure tomorrow. He dozed off to a dreamless sleep. The next day Naruto came to the gates of Konoha where Jiraiya and all of his friends were there to wish him good luck. However, he noticed that Ino was not present, but he just shrugged it off. You ready to begin your training, Gaki? Asked Jiraiya as Naruto nodded. Kamo Mabuchi then walked up to Naruto with his green hair rustling in the wind. Stay strong, Naruto, and keep your will of fire burning bright, said Kamo. Will do, Kamo-sensei, said Naruto as he turned around to leave with Jiraiya. Everyone waved and yelled for the last time as Naruto and Jiraiya left the village. So where do you want to go first? Asked Jiraiya with a smirk. Well, I hear that there's a revolution going on in Kiri right now, said Naruto as he and Jiraiya both nodded at the same thought. 1 week time skip. Naruto and Jiraiya were walking on the road to Kurigakure because they had heard about a revolution because of a corrupt Kage, who also happened to be the Jinchuriki for the 3 tails. The Mizukage had persecuted all of his subjects that had bloodlines in what was called the Bloodline Purge. Naruto decided to fight against him because he had bloodlines of his own. He had been training a lot since they left the Hidden Leaf village. It would take them about 3 more days to get to Kiri. Naruto and Jiraiya made to the nation of Kiri 3 days later. When they crossed the border, Naruto immediately sensed 3 presences. 3 ninja wearing Kiri forehead protectors came up to them. State your business, said the first one. Naruto responded by closing his eyes. When he opened them again, his Sharingan was ablaze. He's one of them on, one of the ninjas started to say until all 3 started clutching their heads and writhing on the ground. That was pretty harsh, Naruto, said Jiraiya. Shut up, pervy sage, I'm getting information, said Naruto. When Naruto was done getting information from the ninja, he killed them. Okay, so they were part of the group of ninjas still loyal to Kiri, and the revolutionaries are somewhere around this area. Also my aunt Mai Terumi is their leader, said Naruto. Yeah, you mean Kushina's younger sister, said Jiraiya with a perverted smile. Hey, that's my aunt, said Naruto as he punched Jiraiya in the gut. Ow, Gaki, that hurt. I'm sorry, said Jiraiya. Another presence is coming this way and it is someone stronger than those 3 were, said Naruto as he and Jiraiya stood ready. The man came into the clearing and stopped. Who are you and what is your business here? Do you plan to help or harm the revolutionary army? Asked a man with dark blue hair and an eye patch over his right eye. The man walked over and placed handcuffs on Naruto and Jiraiya. Fine, but first you will have to come as our prisoners, said the man, to which Naruto complied. The 3 jumped off to the rebel camp. When they got to the camp they were escorted to the biggest tent there where a woman with a huge bust and auburn hair was sitting at a desk. She looked up from her papers and immediately addressed the man with the eye patch. "Ow, who are these people and why are they here?" asked the woman to the now identified Ow. "They are from the Hidden Leaf and claim to be here to help us. Also, this is one of the legendary Sannin, Lord Jiraiya Milady," said Ow in a respectful tone. "Ow, please uncuff them," said the woman as the two were uncuffed. Immediately, Naruto ran up and hugged the woman. "What is this insolence?" yelled Ow before he was stopped by the woman. "Why did you hug me, boy?" asked the woman. "I don't think you know this, but my name is Naruto Uzumaki," said Naruto with a grin. "Then Naruto Uzumaki?" asked the woman with tears starting to stream down her face. This seriously perplexed Ow. "Hi Aunt May," said Naruto with a smile as his aunt enveloped him in a hug. "I thought you had died along with your parents," said May with tears streaming down her face even faster, dripping onto Naruto's head. "No, my parents saved me," said Naruto. "I'll get these two at 10 pronto. Lord Jiraiya, could I please speak with Naruto privately?" said May as Jiraiya nodded and he and Ao left to go get the tent. Once they were gone, May spoke. "We must catch up, what has happened in the past 12 years?" asked May. "Well, it's been pretty tough, but I've managed. I also wanted to ask if you could train with me. I apparently have an affinity for all 5 elements and the potential to learn boil release," said Naruto, which greatly surprised May. "Wow, that's amazing, do you already have any bloodline abilities?" asked May out of curiosity. "Yes, actually, I unlocked wood release and have since trained in it," also said Naruto as he closed his eyes. When he opened them again, they were red with 3 tomo spinning around the pupils. May was amazed and gasped. "Wow, how were you able to acquire the Sharingan?" asked May in amazement. "Some friends of mine gave it to me before they died in the massacre," said Naruto with downcast eyes. "Oh, I'm so sorry," said May. Then she had an idea. "You know what? I will start training you tomorrow. You must be tired, so go get some rest and we'll meet up here in the morning." "Okay," said Naruto with a smile as he left the tent. May was left staring at the ceiling in a trance. "Kushina," she thought with a sad smile. The next morning Naruto met May in the main tent and they went to the beach. "Okay Naruto, this will be your first lesson. I want you to create steam. To do this, you will have to cup both of your hands together and send out fire and water chakra from both of them," said May. "Got it Oba-san," said Naruto, which made May smile. Naruto sat down cross-legged on the sand and closed his eyes. He channeled fire and water chakra into both of his hands, but when he opened his eyes, his left hand was wet while his right hand was on fire. Naruto jumped up really quickly and put his burning hand into the water. "It's okay Naruto, you weren't expected to get it on your first try. However, next time you do it, I want you to visualize it like fire and water coming together to create burning water vapor," said May as Naruto gave her a thumbs up. Naruto sat back down and concentrated again, he visualized what his aunt told him and his hands started to get warm. "Naruto, you're doing it," said May with excitement. Naruto opened his eyes and saw that there was a thick steam coming from his hands. He decided to project it towards the rock and did so effectively. When the steam touched the rock, it completely melted, surprising Naruto. "That is the power of boil release. Now, let's teach you a few techniques," said May. Naruto got back to the tent after a long day of training to find Jiraiya waiting for him. "Naruto, let's go to the clearing in the forest to keep up on your fighting skills and see what techniques you've learned today," said Jiraiya. "Why?" Naruto groaned. "Because I heard that there is going to be a battle in the morning and they need you in tip-top shape," said Jiraiya with a smile and a thumbs up. "Fine," said Naruto as the two went to the forest. Naruto came back worn out from a long day's work. When he got back to the tent, he sat down and took out the scroll of seals. "Naruto, I want you to read about creating your own jutsus and then we can train while you are asleep," sighed Toriko from inside of Naruto's head. "Okay," said Naruto as he opened the scroll. When he finished, he lied down and went to sleep. "I'll be ready for tomorrow," thought Naruto as he drifted off to sleep. What if Hashirama give all chakra to Naruto Chunin exams Sasuke bashing, and thanks for watching my video till the end. If you enjoy this content then do consider subscribing to my channel and leave a like if you guys need the next part, comment down, and thanks for watching the video and see you guys next video.